Zelazny might have a run here. He pulls up. 2 laps to go at Auto Club Speedway. What a run this has been. 5 cars out front just dancing around for the lead. Salas back to the bottom. Honeycutt stuck up top. Slide job out of Salas. Crossover out of Honeycutt.
23 showing a big run here. He does.
You see Salas starting to cover it up. He goes up the racetrack. Honeycutt's clear of them both. He shoves it up in front of the 23, gets himself loose. It'll be white flag this time by. Salas down low. Zelazny looking for a hole. Side by side, 3 wide, coffee in it. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Who is going to win the Luke's Playhouse 200? Honeycutt controlling the race. Coffee in second. Tires are aging. Zelazny off the top rope. Got a little bit free. He's going to crash with lights. And yes, wall there. Who knows? Honeycutt, though, leading the race. Can Coffee get a run? He's going to send it. He hits him. Big bump and run. Coffee's gonna try and get away. Can Salas get there? Coffee's gonna crash. Salas is gonna crash. Watch Nick Lights here to the stripe. Salas is gonna do it with no front bumper.
Unbelievable.
Wow. There's the white flag from Barney the Flagman. 1 lap to go at Long Beach. White flag is out. Brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams.
Yeah, can Rayleigh hold him off? He looked like he's started to gap Cantonio just ever so slightly. Got about half of a second. It's been hovering right around there. Oh, Cantonio really pushing. He's sideways out of turn number 1. But Rayleigh just keeping that car pointed in the right direction. Nice and smooth. Able to keep it going. It's going to be tough. Cantonio knows that there's not very many chances, even if you can get close enough to him to make a move. So we'll see as they come through 6 and 7, head toward turn 8 onto the backstretch.
Deeper in the field, nothing changing. Lap traffic ahead. It's Kevin Peak and Bradley Alvis right in front of our race leaders down East Seaside Way. And to turn number 9 for the final time. Lap traffic in the way, and Rayleigh goes for it on Peak. He sends it into turn 9. He knows he can't wait. He knows he can't give an opportunity to Kevin Cantonio. Cantonio's going to take it anyway. Ships it into the hairpin, and Rayleigh's going to get away. Thomas Rayleigh is going to be a race winner in the North American Racing League. A last lap bump and run wasn't enough. This man wins at Long Beach.
Wow, what a finish coming through that hairpin. I thought they were all going to wad it up. We had lap traffic in there, staying in there.
It's race 5 tonight for the NORA Retro Cup Series, and we're finally taking these high horsepower 2003 NASCAR Cup cars to a short track, but not just any short track. It's the last great Coliseum. Bristol and Martinsville lie on this schedule back-to-back this spring, so everyone has a warm-up on track and in their tempers. Not just on track, but also in their tempers tonight before we go racing at the Paperclip next week. But question is, does tonight's race give us another surprise winner, or can one of the traditional big teams finally hit pay dirt? Welcome to Pit Stop TV in the virtual Bristol, Tennessee. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV with Zach Murtis, and it's a pleasure to join you for coverage of the Bristol 300. Today's coverage is brought to you by Harpoon Designs, by NORA, and by Whiplash Sim Cams. And Zach, this place is as classic as they get in NASCAR racing. High banked, short straights, high speeds, high tempers. And I don't know this for sure, but from the little bits of practice that I've caught so far, we might see some low-line dominance here this evening. We'll see how things go. I think we might see these guys use a little more of the track than they used in 05, but it does seem like, to me at least, the bottom might be the place to be for lap time. We'll see how the night goes, but of course, let's take a look at point standings coming into the evening. 4 races down and plenty to go until the chase. Hunter Sr. still on top, but that gap is starting to narrow a little bit, Zach. I feel like the rest of the field is starting to catch up and get their wits about them. Chase Durheim has been fantastic as always. It makes sense that he's second. Then things are kind of a toss-up for the next few spots. I think certainly Josh Conover would have been above Ryan Jones and Dalton Tucker had he not had to pull off for, well, the birth of his girl last week. And we are happy to report, of course, that she made it to the world, and hey, they are now a family of 3, so congratulations to them. I gotta be honest though, Zach, I know it's still early in the season. I'm already liking the cut line battle. I know anything can change, but it's good so far. 2 points.
Make that cut line battle a lot more prominent tonight. I'm glad to see that a lot of guys are starting to build up in the points as well, like Vincent Arthur. He got that second place finish last week. He was fighting for it tooth and nail with Brian Jones, but now he's finally starting to have some good finishes under his belt. Let's hope he can keep that moving in the right direction and move himself above the cut line.
Sounds like I actually still had you muted there for a second, Zach, but don't worry.
Boy.
Don't worry, the broadcast didn't miss much, but hey,
wow.
We're ready to go racing. Yeah. Well, this is going to be a fun one, of course. These guys qualified for Bristol last week before, during, and after their race at Atlanta, but we have a field. We have cars ready to go. They will get a couple of extra pace laps here this evening. We will, of course, talk about more things such as the schedule and whatnot here in just a few. But for now, Zach, the field is getting ready to go racing, and already you can see who is on pole. That number 9 of Dustin Kleva will lead us to the green here tonight at Bristol. Boy, that's interesting. He has been looking good on the 1.5 miles, so to put him out in front for this short track, that could be dangerous. Track position, of course, means so much here. Ryan Housden will join the front row in that number 15 Michael Waltrip special. Back in third place, Hunter Sr. right back towards the front, and Brian Jones. I think two of the hottest drivers in the series as far as closing out races this season. They will start from row number 2. Kevin Baumler, Kyle Tubb, a couple of kind of wild cards. I feel like they're in row 3. Back in row 4, it's Kyle Rochelle alongside Chase Durheim. Watch that 16 here this evening. And to complete your top 10, how about the 24 Vincent Arthur that we just keep waiting for a full good run out of, alongside the 99 of Noah Blackwell.
Running outside the top 10, Jared Skinner in the 04 car with Nicholas Pressey to his outside in the 000, or actually the number 0 just shows as 000. Ronnie Norman, one of your cut line drivers in that 13th position with Chance Durheim to his outside. The Durheims have been on fire these first few races, so looking to see them continue to build on it. 15th and 16th on the starting grid tonight, you'll find Bruce Ackerman in that 84 car and Jake Christenberry to his outside in the 16th spot. Rolling off right behind them, you'll find Cody Anderson and Kenneth Cheney. And then to round out your top 20 in the 19th and 20th spots, you'll find Brady Motes and Kane Hoy.
And back in 21st this evening, Cody Smith in the 42. That's the car that won here last season, but it was Dalton Tucker at the wheel. He'll start alongside Nick Ham. Back in 23rd, John Border in the 43, alongside John Skavnicki. My bad. My keyboard just lit up yellow. I got a little confused. Donald Kite there in the 25th spot, and alongside Matthew George. Complete your top 30. Joey Stats subbing in the 28 for Nick Geilis alongside Cody Reeder, and then Josh Conover and Jeremy Rubin in row 15.
Unexpected to see Conover this far down the grid, but hey, what are you going to do? Craig Martin starts 31st with Wayne Sparks to his outside in the 32nd position. Also very unexpected. Dominic Bettini to the inside 33rd position with Brad Fulham to his outside the 34th spot. And then right behind them in the 35th spot, you'll find Dalton Tucker. And you'll find the 07 of Joseph, oh my goodness, I keep mispronouncing his name, Joseph Anguar. I'm hoping I said that right, in the 36th position. That's going to round out your 36 car field, Andrew, here at Bristol. I know we've got race details and weather conditions to go over, but, oh, baby, I'm so pumped for Bristol.
And a look at those Whiplash SimCam's race details. Here they are, a 300 lap, 159.9 mile race. May as well be 160. 77% fuel load out there for these guys, as per usual, for their crown jewel races. 10 change sets. I doubt we'll go through more than about 5 of those this evening, but these guys could surprise us as the iRacing.com safety car will pull off. We'll turn things over to the field off of turn 4. We are racing at the last great Coliseum. One lap complete. Dustin Kleva out front in that number 9. I mentioned he could be dangerous left out front like this. So far he is. Problems, the 4 in the wall. Hunter Sr. lap 2. He is headed backwards in a hurry.
Going backwards very, very quickly indeed. Stuck on that outside line. No meatball flag or pit for repair for the 4 car. He's going to try to get it slowed down as quickly as possibly can. Which, no, not too difficult at the moment, but he is stuck up on that outside line. Going backwards finally to the back. And he is going to fall in line in the 36th position. That's one way to go backwards, and that's some hefty right front damage. We'll see if he pops down into the pit lane here. It looks like he's going to keep on rolling, Andrew, as we look at the fight up front. Jones to the outside of Housden.
Battle for second, Housden Jones side by side. Brian Jones, of course, able to get that win at Atlanta last week. One of the hottest drivers in the series. Up to P2.
What was that about low line dominance you said?
Oh yeah, it's looking good. I'm liking what I'm seeing here, and I really do mean it. These guys running mostly on the bottom lane of the racetrack. That is a very welcome sight.
But Jones passed on the top side.
Well, you can make passes up there, but you see everybody running down on that yellow line.
That is true. Tire saving helps a lot on that bottom line, and here we have the fight a little bit further on back from the race lead. You've got Baumler in the 4th position, then right behind him it's a 3-car tussle between Tubb, Rochelle, and Arthur off of turn number 4. That 24 car has closed in on the 12 and 32, and here he goes, looking around the outside. A slow car briefly, just wanting to interject, that was the 5 of Sparks. He has dropped down to 32nd. Here's that battle with Vincent Arthur on the outside. Side by side, 24 car off of turn number 4, takes it away from Rochelle in the 12. Now he's got a sight set on Tubb right in front of him in that 32 car. Seems committed to the outside line. Looks like Jones and Arthur really have this top line down. They are making some headway up there.
Vincent Arthur looking good up top, and he's somebody that has some short track experience, not just on iRacing, but in the real world, and I always wonder how much of a difference that's going to make. It seems like that might be helping him here early. Obviously, that short track experience not in a 2003 NASCAR Cup car, so, I mean, how much is it really going to help him? I don't know, but he is looking really, really smooth so far.
I mean, ARCA cars are still higher downforce, or higher horsepower, low downforce.
Slow car, this is the 0-2 of Kane Hoy. He has fallen back now nearly to 30th spot. Great battle here with Craig Martin and Wayne Sparks. You mentioned Wayne Sparks. It's odd to see him down this far in the order. It is. I mean, he's been great these last few weeks on the intermediates, but we've yet to see any of these guys on the short track. Maybe this is just where his short track speed lies. A lot of traffic ahead as Craig Martin did get clear of the 5 car. But Wayne Sparks, one of the Hendrick drivers, considered one of the, I would say, contenders certainly for the chase, back here in 32nd early.
Yeah, and one driver we also talked about that we were surprised to see further down the running order as Sparks goes for a move here on Craig Martin was Josh Conover. He qualified a little bit further down in the 29th position. Now he's up to 21st. He's actually gained quite a few spots off the start of the race. He's got 3 cars up in front of him fighting. That is Brady Moats leading that trifecta of race cars. So the 48 has been doing some work since the drop of the green flag in that Lowe's number 48.
No, that's not a Lowe's 48.
Yeah, I was getting there.
Very cool to see the pit stop TV, not necessarily colors, but representation there on the number 48 this week. That was a surprise to us, and he teased that there'd be a surprise. Very happy to see it. I'll take it as a birthday gift. A little bit belated, 2 days late, but I'll take it.
Aren't you Unk status now, from what I heard in a couple of other Discords?
We should be locked into using only 2005 slang.
Dude, I was 4 in 2005. I don't know half the slang that was used.
Well, we got to figure it out. We might have to do our research here before Martinsville next week and be some of the hit kids going into that one. Already some lap traffic for our race leader, Dustin Kleba. He is in the back end of Jeremy Rubin. Rubin this week in the number 77 car. We've had a few different drivers running that machine this season. It seems like Penske Racing has been the most apt to use the subsystem here in the National Online Racing Association. National Oval Racing Association. I'm sorry, Josh. I'll get it one of these days. Kane Hoy up here. He is the final car, 1 lap down. Brad Fulham, on the lead lap rather. Kane Hoy on the lead lap. Brad Fulham barely so as well. And then Cody Reeder's back here. And of course, we saw Hunter Sr. with that damage early. He is back here as well. You may have noticed out there, Zach, the clouds have built up around the racetrack and it has gotten rather dark. Weather conditions here, 22 laps in, 67 degrees in the air, 96 on track, mostly cloudy skies. It should keep it relatively calm for these guys as far as track temps go, but you can see the wind is a little bit high. That shouldn't be too much of a bother, but we'll see.
Bo shizzle, my man.
A caution. Nick Ham, Donald Kite.
That is... Hold on. I have a 2005 phrase for this. That is... No, I don't have a 2005 phrase for this. Never mind!
Thank goodness for that. Well, here's this. Into turn 3, Kite just into the back of the 88 car.
Oh, and then Border gets a piece of that as well in the 43. Hello!
I'll be honest, Zach. That looks like Bristol to me.
That looks like Bristol to me as well. Going to be a little bit of damage on the 88. I think the 43 got the most worst for wear out of that one, as you see, coming off a 2. 88 slides up, Kite gets in deep, slides around, and there's Border getting a piece of that.
Yeah, that just looks like typical Bristol racing to me. 2 guys kind of arguing a little bit over space in the racetrack, and they meet in the middle, and this will be John Border's view down into turn number 3. He was right behind, or I guess next to Wayne Sparks, and Wayne gets by. John Border, not so lucky.
Well, that's going for the same piece of real estate, as they like to say on the racetrack, but looks like Border's going to stay out on the racetrack. We've got a couple of cars in the pit lane. taking some quick service under this caution flag. Mainly a lot of runners in the rear of the field. We've got some front runners staying out on the racetrack, though. Looks like the 88 staying out, the 21.
Yeah, so Ham
43.
lost a lap, as did Brad Fulham. I'm kind of surprised that Fulham went a lap down in all of this. Hunter Sr. now stopped in the pit lane. It's very important to note, Zach, these guys are running the single pit lane on this racetrack. So they have to enter in turn 2 hey, track battle. Here we go. Enter in turn 2 and stay in the pit lane all the way around until they exit turn 1. And even once they've exited in turn 1, they have to stay on the apron until they exit turn 2. So it's more than a full lap, really.
You can see the bloodline a little bit out of camera shot back there. Now, if they were running dual pit lane, it would still be, you see it right there at the bottom right hand of your screen.
Yeah, just a little blue line on the apron.
And if it was still dual pit road, it would be a very similar aspect, but only under the caution flag. During green flag stops, drivers would be allowed to pit in the respective pit lane that their box is in. So if you're on the backstretch on a dual pit road, under green flag conditions, you can pit on the backstretch. Under the yellow flag, you have to enter at turn 2. So it definitely creates a bit of a precedent for these guys to maximize that pit strategy and maximize time on the pit lane. But
yeah,
so
single file, the trouble with that, is iRacing, it's basically 1 or 0, as with binary, basically, on or off. You have to have either single pit lane or double. You can't, the sim can't police during green versus yellow. So real world does, on the sim you can't, but here we go. Restart coming. We'll get into the pit stop stuff a little bit later on. Green flag is back out. The top 4 all stayed out. 5th on back all has tires. One lap complete off the restart. I do really enjoy these shots around the racetrack, seeing these guys fly by these cameras as they get up to speed. Things you love to see. Caution.
Caution.
That is not what we love to see, especially for what seems to be for Kane Hoy in the 0-2. And yes, he will be spinning here in just a second. Take a look at this. An addition over to Penske Racing this season. At least it looks like by paint scheme.
A little hot there into turn number 1. I think he kind of jammed the brakes a little bit to lock it down, and that's what snapped the rear end around a little bit more. But hey, great job getting it onto the pit lane. That was phenomenal work right there. Checked it up hard. Great avoidance by everybody, and then got it right down to the pit lane. I don't even think he got a black flag for that.
I'll tell you what, these guys need to get their paint scheme straight. We've got a very obviously Penske car on the 0-2, but we're being told he's not a driver within the Penske fold. We got to get that sorted out. But these guys...
That was correct, though. The 0-2 was used in conjunction with Penske, but it was ran under a different team.
Look, man, all I'm saying, we got to get it straightened out. A little confusing, but... the top 3 still have all stayed out. Those are Kleba, Housden, and Durheim. Chance Durheim, that is, in the 17. The next 4 all have tires. Those are Jones, Arthur, Baumler, and Rochelle. John Border, the next car on old tires in the number 43. There he is in the 8th position. We do have one driver that seems to have taken 2. That's Cody Smith in the 42. You can tell by the 9-second pit stop there that he likely took 2, and now it looks like John Border is going to hit the pit lane and come in for some kind of service, as Donald Kite is down there currently. There's a few stragglers towards the back also getting service here under this stop, and there is Border into his box. As these guys pace around under this caution, Zach, we can take a look at this evening's Clark Contracting Power Rankings. Here they are. And look at that, the 4 seems to be human once again. His 80-plus power ranking score has come down a bit to 75. Cody Smith, I don't think this is that surprising, but it is a little bit interesting as What's happening here? It says we're live, but my
Says we're
keyboard
green.
just went green. Yeah.
I even heard race control in iRacing say we were green. This is weird.
a little confused. My keyboard
Race
is
car's
synced
off
to...
the racetrack?
It is. It's not in front of these guys. That's what also threw me off.
Well,
Okay,
there
we're
they
going
go
back
into the
green.
restart zone. Green flag. Did anybody get the number on that pace car?
It's one of the stranger things I've seen. But it seems to be Bristol that brings out the strangest things on iRacing these days. So, battle for the top two. Old tires on both of those cars, the 9 and 15. I want to hit those power rankings again, though. The Clark Contracting power rankings. Cody Smith, I think, makes sense to be second. It's just interesting how far ahead he is of Kenneth Cheney, Dustin Kleba, Donald Kite, Chase Durheim. As we have another caution, this will be for Cody Smith. Oh, dear.
Just singing his praises, and there he is around on the front straightaway. Car looks relatively clean, so it looks like he's going to be able to drive away from the incident, albeit potentially one lap down. This is a look at it. 2, 3, and 4. Oh, he tapped the apron.
Just kissed the inside wall. Able to get the car back off the wall and continue on. So, honestly, no harm, no foul. Here's the onboard look for him. Just, boom, grabs some apron, immediately comes around and into the inside wall. Honestly, not that crazy. Not ideal, certainly by any means. But certainly could have been a lot worse for the 42 car there. Here's one more look at it. Well, had a small blink, and then... oh. Those cameras aren't wanting to work. That's a little odd. No pit stop yet for Dustin Kleba. He stays out front. The top three have done so far this evening. And Zach, I can't disagree with the logic right now. We're getting some rapid-fire cautions. Hang on to the track position. Especially in a 300 lapper. It just feels a bit longer. Well, it is a bit longer, but it feels significantly longer for some reason versus a 250 lapper. So I like the move right now. Save the tires, keep the track position, hang on for a little bit.
I think it's
don't
a solid strategy.
Especially don't get caught up in the mess right now. If you don't need to be in the back, don't be there.
The issue that it presents, though, is that now, unless a big long run happens where everyone decides to pit again, your strategy of staying out of the midfield to avoid the cautions kind of gets negated. Because now, if we keep having these short runs, you can stay out for a little while longer, but it gets to a point where you've been on these tires for so long, you kind of just want to let them go.
And that is certainly a risk that you play with this, but I think it's worthwhile to give this strategy a shot and roll with it. We'll see. Yeah, every strategy in racing, there's always a risk aspect, but I do think if you have the track position right now, try to hang on to it, as again, it's showing us green. And the iRacing.com safety car, watch it here. Where is it going to go? It just disappears.
It's gone.
That is bonkers. All right, well, green flag on the way. We know that. Here comes Dustin Kleba around turn 3, and...
into the restart zone.
green flag. The 9 car has been out front all night long so far. Clean racing for him currently. Brian Jones trying to come through the field a little bit. Of course, we have the single file restart still in the NORA Retro Cup Series. So he doesn't get to double up right behind the race leader or anything. He's got a little ways to go, but you can see lap traffic is already a concern for these drivers, as Housden, for a moment, had the fastest lap. Now it's Ackerman back in the 84 as he runs in the 8th spot. And it's good to see Bruce doing well tonight. He had some pace, I think, back in California, but it's been a couple of off weeks for the 84 car for sure.
A bit. He's had some good showing of speed, and well, I think he's looking to get that back as soon as possible. Rolling up off of turn number 4, he's having a decent run right there. This is the fight further up front. The tires are starting to show. Brian Jones is moving by for 3rd. He's trying to take Vincent Arthur with him. You can see him right there out of the corner of your screen. So the fight for the lead starts to shrink ever more as the 45 and the 24 are just about right back at it as they were last week, nose to tail, fighting for position.
You see the onboard here from Chancerheim rather. It's Christenberry in the 11 around. And this is down inside of turn number 2.
Look at that pace car. Tokyo drift into the bloodline. Gonna pick it up right in front of Christenberry. Oh, we got one more car around. That's Dalton Tucker in front of the leaders.
He is scored currently in 34th position. He won this race last year. So let's see. Christenberry has the issue first. It's ahead. Ah, that's how Tucker gets spun. He ended up getting run into in all of the aftermath. He's trying to wait for all these guys to go by him for an opening, and there never is an opening.
Until right by pace car, and he just loops it around. Vincent Arthur moves to the top line to avoid the 3.
So for the number 11, here is his moment.
He's going down into turn
Just
1. He just overhooks it.
Slides around.
Locks it down.
Did a good job getting it off the racetrack there. Gas it up, down the banking, get out of the way. That was pretty cool.
This is textbook case of what I have been explaining to a lot of the Murtis Esports drivers, where when you get into the corner and you think that you're going to slide back up the racetrack after you lock it down, gas it up. Right here. Look at him. He gassed it up. He slides right down the racetrack, gets out of harm's way. That is beautiful textbook work from Jay Christenberry.
And in that, Zach, we might have even had a couple of Murtis Mega Miss candidates. Let's see who goes by him here in all of this. Slow it down. So certainly one for Cheney. Conover. Oh, man. Conover. And then there's more. Moats. Even Anderson there. And then, of course, there was the incident for the 3-car of Tucker. We'll see that one more time.
I think out of all those incidents, Conover has to be the favorite for Murtis Esports Murtis Mega Miss moment.
And so here's the look for Dalton Tucker. Of course, getting involved in all this, he tries to check up and go high, and then Matthew George just gets into the 3-car, spins him around, and there he is, facing the wrong direction.
How about Scab Nicky in the 38 car? That's a pretty good nomination right there for Murtis Esports Murtis Mega Miss as well. Almost got collected there.
And it looks like the 4 of Senior caught a lap down again as the lights go green. Oh man, this is going to be an interesting evening if this is how things are going to go with the pace car.
It's going to be the rest of the night for us. I think the pace car driver just got lazy.
50 laps complete this time by green flag. Back in the air at Bristol.
Hey, caution.
Caution's out. Wayne Sparks in the 5. Also a 33 of Anderson. Yeah, there he is.
Big time damage on the back of the 33 car. This is on the restart. This is coming to the green flag. A lot of stacking right here. Craig Martin doesn't get going, and then Wayne Sparks runs right into the back of that 33 car. That Bass Pro Shop racing machine.
I wonder if we can see where the stack up happens. With this camera we have coming up, I think we might be able to see it. So they start going, the 25 and 22. I don't know why the 22 stopped. He might have missed a gear. That's where the gap came from, was the 22 car. So here's the onboard of him.
There's plenty of gaps to the cars up in front. Oh, he missed a shift.
I mean, yeah, he was redlining 10,000 RPMs. That is not ideal. both for the motor and the cars behind you. I don't know if that was a shift mistake or if he was waiting to... I don't know. That was a little odd. We are just past a sixth of the way into this race this evening. Might be a good time to look at the schedule for 2026. And again, this is modeling a little bit after the 2005 NASCAR Cup Series. Certainly some changes, but yes, you see Martinsville is next up for us at race number 6 as we're here at Bristol for 300 laps this evening. So after this, it's Martinsville, then Texas, Phoenix, Talladega, Darlington, Richmond, and Charlotte, this opening leg of the schedule. The summer stretch will take us through Dover, Pocono, Michigan, Sonoma, Chicagoland, Montreal, Daytona again, Pocono again, Indianapolis, Watkins Glen, Michigan again, and then Bristol again, before the final couple of races of the regular season take us to California and Richmond to close out the regular season and lock 10 drivers, I guess 10, possibly 12, into the chase this season. And then you see the chase. New Hampshire, Rockingham, Talladega, Kansas, Charlotte, Martinsville, Atlanta, Texas, Phoenix, and Miami. I'm excited. I almost panicked as the field has been given the green, but is still in turn 2. This is getting more and more strange. They're starting to go by. I think they're taking advantage of the pace car disappearing, but here we go, Zach. Restart on the way. Dustin Kleba in control, as he has been all night long. It's Ryan Housden and Brian Jones, your top 3. Old tire still on the 17, and green flag. Ryan Jones, right to work on the inside of Ryan Housden here for second place. 45 looks good, loose there into 1. That was a great catch.
That was a big catch right there. Vincent Arthur moves to the outside of the 45 car, really tight on that quarter panel. I think they both know that outside line is super, super effective right now at this current track state, but Brian Jones able to make it work on the bottom, able to defend that third place position. As the top 4, you can throw a blanket under them as they are all racing nose to tail up off of 4 on to lap 59, and the next car down the running order would be Chase Durheim. No, yes, that is Chase. That's Chance. 17. Thank you. That's going to be a season-long endeavor.
Chance Durheim in the 17 runs in 5th. Chase Durheim in the 16 runs back in 9th. So they are both top 10 so far this evening, but obviously a long ways to go. Here is some of that fight action just ahead of Chase Durheim. He's behind Ackerman in the 84. Rochelle's running top 10 so far. Baumler as well. Here's Durheim with a run. He gets underneath that 84 car. This is for 8th spot.
You can see just how much these guys are struggling to rotate in these race cars, because if you go back to the onboard with Chase Durheim, you can see him jump out of the throttle underneath that 84 car as the caution is back out. Once again, big smash up off of turn number 2. That's Kite and Skavnicki on the back straightaway. Christenberry is once again around, and it looks like the 21 and the 38 are not happy with each other.
Yeah, Kite was giving Skavnicki a shot there in the door after the crash. They're still running parallel
next to each other.
Now they get it sorted, it seems. Let's go back and see what happened between these two. The 11 is up the road. The 21 is behind them. So it's going to start with the 11, I would assume. He goes high. Loose again. Around. Boom. There's a 38. Senior gets a piece. And then Donald Kite. I mean, I wonder if he is upset at the 38 rolling around. But I don't know that he could have done much more about it.
Locking down only does so much for you. You see the 38 rolling, and I mean, he wasn't even locked down realistically. I don't know. A lot of focus there on Christenberry, but you can see what was going on with Skavnicki. Just another look. The 11 car, once again, just loose into 1 and 2. Hunter Sr. gets into the back of the 38 and then starts rolling back down the racetrack. The 38 is Skavnicki, and Kite just has nowhere to go.
I don't know that Skavnicki did anything wrong necessarily, because he was keeping his car low and trying to get it back off the racetrack with the way he was backing up. I don't think that's a problem personally. He's still actively crashing, trying to get a handle on things. Yeah, I don't know if Kite's actually upset. I mean, for the sake of fun, we'll say he is, I guess, but I don't know that John could have done much more.
There was no space for him, honestly. From that angle, I think it's pretty clear that there wasn't really much space for him to go. He could have gone to the top side, but that would have been a very, very last-minute, late-ditch effort.
Yes, I mean, if you're Donald here, I think self-cleaning racetrack, kind of like Dover, right? The banking goes up, so the cars will go down. I would think personally to go high, but you zig when you zag. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know that Skavnicki did anything necessarily wrong there, but I think Donald was already having a bad race, and that just made it worse. So, you know, that's the frustration. That's the temper we're talking about, Zach. That's the stuff that we're expecting to see over the course of the evening.
Looks like we're putting the lights back on the pace car right here in an effort to fix the laziness of the pace car driver, we'll say. But, I mean, I definitely see your point there, Andrew, and I can understand it, honestly, but my mentality now kind of floats back to about 2008, 2009, the iRacing racing school YouTube videos that were posted when the sim first went live. Not all wrecks are avoidable.
That's fair.
Jesus, the iRacing racing school videos, that's a throwback right there.
As we run here under this caution one more time, we want to take a look at our partners with the channel. Of course, always a big thank you here with the NORA Retro Series to Harpoon Design and to Clark Contracting for being on board this season. Also a big thank you to our partners, Whiplash SimCams, MXWraps.com, ATVO, Murders Esports, CC's Business, and the North American Racing League. Seeing if the iRacing.com safety car has its business figured out yet or not. It seems like it's going a bit better this time, Zach.
A bit. He's gonna make the hard left turn. Yes, it is.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Restart zone. Dustin Kleba back on the power. Green flag once again at Bristol Motor Speedway. Tell you what, Zach, those new tires for Brian Jones, they still look good, but they're now 43 laps broken in technically. A lot of those under caution, sure, but he's done some running now on those tires. They're not going to be as good as they once were.
Yes, however, those front two are 70 lap broken in tires. So the math, well, does itself for a moment, but you can see that Brian Jones is working on trying to go catch those top two race cars. Vincent Arthur right in his coattails. How about Kevin Baumler? He is up to the 5th spot with Rochelle right behind him. That's Ackerman, Chasterheim, and then it is Pressy and Tubb, your top 10, rolling through 1 and 2. See that 99 of Blackwell right there in the 11th spot. He was one driver that we took a focus on last week for running the Carl Edwards paint scheme on that number of Roush 99. He's done a really good job of actually putting himself into a good spot. He was running pretty far down the running order at Atlanta last week, and now he's running 11th. So I think we're starting to see our short track ringers coming out in full force and really showing what they got here on the high banks of Bristol.
And you know, Bristol was one of those places that Carl Edwards was really, really good. Maybe not right off the bat, but I mean, 07, 09, 07, 08, 09.
2013.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, there were a number of years where Cousin Carl was very, very good at Bristol Motor Speedway. Concrete Carl at one point in time. So I would hope this 99 would ideally be fast here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and it looks like it is, as there's a battle ahead with Ackerman and Durheim one more time. A battle as well between Arthur and Jones, side by side here for 3rd place.
See that 24 car down on the bottom. Bristol Motor Speedway was a playground for Jeff Gordon in the early 2000s, the late 90s, and heck, even in the mid-2000s, here and there. I think his last win actually coming at Bristol Motor Speedway in, what, 2002, I think it was, when he was having that famous battle with Rusty Wallace.
Beats me.
Google.
I'll be honest, Zach. I was never a Jeff Gordon fan. I was a Dale Jr. fan growing up. I didn't pay attention to Jeff Gordon's accomplishments and accolades very much. No disrespect to the driver, obviously one of the best to ever do it, but I feel like in those early 2000s, it was kind of like the 90s. You were one side of the fence. You either liked Dale Jr. in some regard, or you liked Jeff Gordon in some regard. You couldn't really like both at the time, as there's the 24 to the inside. Vincent Arthur, a great run there out of turn 2. Jones up the track a little bit. Now, we were told by Lee Admins these guys can go about 105 to a tank without caution interference. We have had a handful of cautions this evening. Let's check the graphic to be exact. 6 cautions so far. As, that's a problem. Jones into Arthur there briefly. They caught it. They keep going. But you see the CC's Business Race stats.
That graphic is new.
It is relatively new in the last week or so. 0 lead changes so far through the 6 cautions. But a good race so far.
I can tell you, because, well, Wikipedia exists. The Food City 500 was the race that was held here at Bristol Motor Speedway in 2005. The pole sitter for this race was Elliott Sadler. Most laps led was Rusty Wallace, and the race winner of this event was Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, you know, we've been trying to get Tyler to talent in this series. Well, to race, anyways. I'm not sure where he is or what's going on there. I know he's entered technically in the 29 car, but hopefully Josh Conover can get the talent back in the field here soon. It'd be nice to see the 29 car on track. As we've got a battle for second, Housden and Jones side by side. We're watching it here from the perspective of Vincent Arthur. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Ryan Housden might finally be losing second place on those old tires.
Look at Vincent Arthur ripping around the top side. That's where the 24 car has been dominant today. And Arthur goes on by for the 3rd spot. And now tires are nothing separating the 45 and the 9 car. 1 second up the road is Kleba. He's got some lap traffic, playing some defense in between himself and that second place car, Brian Jones, who has now rotated up to that top side. A lot of these guys are rotating up to the middle end of the top side and cutting it down on corner exit, so they're taking a bit of a late apex overall. I think we're starting to feel the effects of these tires now, Andrew. We're starting to see how these guys are searching for rotation by entering in that higher line, letting it roll a lot more, and then gassing it up so they can rotate off corner exit down on the bottom.
Yeah, between the tires wearing out and I think this track just being a little more topside favorable in other cars, I think we're starting to see these guys migrate up the racetrack throughout the whole field. Watch this. Through some of the statics, you'll see it through the corners.
Look at the looseness you can see on these guys. Saw Brian Jones really loose on the front straightaway. Just watching them catch these race cars.
A lot more top line running than we saw at the beginning of this race some 90 laps ago. It is a little strange to see these cars in particular running the top at Bristol.
I'll say I agree with that sentiment. As I currently continue to think about how much I love the speed shot cameras. I always love the speed shot cameras. Riding on board though with Dustin Kleba, our race leader, almost a third of the race down and almost a full second, actually is a full second up in front of Brian Jones in that second spot. Lap traffic starting to play a big factor for this number 9 car.
And where have we seen the 21 behind the 88 before? This time it's going to go differently. Ham gets down low. Kite will go by on the outside as Jeremy Rubin blinks up ahead, but the number 88 going to go a lap down, it looks like, as Kleba is ahead. Caution is out. This is going to be for Brian Jones.
No way.
Yes, sir. Oh, my goodness. Last week's Atlanta winner is going to be out of this thing, I think. At least competitively. You know, I say sometimes that a driver is out before they really are, but I think it's fair to say he's out competitively. He can continue on, but that car is not in winning condition right now. Maybe later, after some repairs, he can get back into it, but right now, this is a big detour to his race. The question now is the 24 involved? Yes.
I believe he is, yep. Just comes right up off the corner, tries to save the race car, and the 45 just smacks the inside wall. Nowhere to go for Brian Jones. To be perfectly honest, Andrew, that is a textbook racing incident, but
avoidable.
It's to place blame on 24.
Yeah.
It's
very avoidable on Vincent Arthur's part, but just like earlier with a couple of incidents already that we've seen, he didn't do anything wrong necessarily. He just came off the corner and there was a left rear of the 45. I mean, yeah, he didn't do anything necessarily wrong or egregious. He was just exiting the corner and they happened to make some contact. It's very unfortunate, obviously, for Jones and even for Arthur. And this is going to change things up. Most of the field pitted under this caution. You see the 48 has stayed out. That is Josh Conover now taking the race lead. First lead change, and it happens here under caution. As here is the 81 of Baumler. He stayed out initially. Now he's in the pits. Same for Blackwell. Blackwell had not yet... Well, no, he had pitted about 70 laps ago. Kleba, who's led the entire race to this point... well, he is going to line up, it looks like, third behind Conover and Chance Durheim, who pitted about 33 ago, and he's going to stay out under this caution.
Yep, it's nice to see Conover running up at the front, especially since he is in some elite club as of last week.
Is that running the Pit Stop TV logo on his car?
No, he now has access to dad jokes in his library.
Ah, yes. As we documented last week at Atlanta Motor Speedway, he had to drop out of the race because his wife went into labor. The water broke, and they had to rush. They had to go dashing through the snow, Zach, and get to the hospital. Thankfully, everything went well. I saw that they brought, I believe, Miss Jenna home a few days later, so congratulations to the Conover family. I believe Bree is his wife's name. I'm not entirely certain on that, but I'm sure Josh will type in the Discord chat soon and correct me if I'm wrong. Regardless,
Andrew has dad jokes for you. He's got so many dad jokes for you.
Look, I'm only 3 years into this thing. I'm not quite tuned up like some of the older dads, but I've got a couple.
That's 3 more years than me.
That's fair. So yes, Conover will take over the race lead here. As you see a few of the cars that are a lap down lining up on the inside. Of course, single file restarts dictate that the leaders will start top side, lap down cars inside, and once we get inside of 10 to go, we will stop lining the cars up on the bottom and stack them at the back so that the leaders can race it out at the end of the race. We do have Brian Jones back in the pit lane. Again, I don't know that this is going to be terminal for him. I think he can get back out there, but again, as far as competitive running, I don't think he's going to be that competitive here for a while at the very least. There goes the iRacing.com safety car. Green flag is back out here at Bristol. One lap complete off of that restart. Caution already back out. This time, Blackwell, car 99.
Just when we were talking about him and singing his praises of running inside the top 10, you can see that left rear a little bit bent up.
He was racing here with Vincent Arthur. Don't tell me it's 2 in a row for Arthur.
Oh, no. Well, he got the 99 straightened back out. Arthur gets loose, tagging the apron, and then, oh, no.
And I wouldn't even place turn 1 on Vincent. I think he established himself low, and Noah maybe didn't realize it and came down. So let's see this from the 24 car's perspective. He dives. It's certainly a dive, but I would say he got there, Zach, and then off the corner, Blackwell about had it saved, got loose, and got hit there by car number 4.
Digging sideways by the 24 and the 99. They both get it straightened out, and then Hunter Sr. just comes right into it. Really anywhere to go. There you see the 99 chase it up the racetrack. gets it straight, gets loose, tries to catch it. He did have it gathered up, in my opinion, and then the 4 car came right in. Love to see that onboard from Hunter Sr., to be perfectly honest. Kind of figure out where his headspace was at.
He was a couple of cars back as the 28. Joey Stats just ahead. They seemed like they were going. He gets back in the gas, and then, yeah, it's hard to say where the 99 was truly going to be. So I don't really place much blame up there on the 4 car. I think he was just trying to do his best, and unfortunately it all went wrong.
You can't place blame on him, but you can definitely feel bad for him. Back on the pit lane for the 4 car, Hunter Sr. has been fighting to get back on the lead lap really, really hard, to be perfectly honest, and he is stuck in that pit lane. Senior was on the lead lap, and it seems like every time he does get back on the lead lap, he finds a way to get himself another lap down, but it looks like he'll get out of the pit lane before the pace car gets to him. Keep himself in contention.
How about the new paint scheme, though, for the 4 car? As he has moved over to more of a Mike Wallace-style paint scheme that we actually saw in the 4 in 2005. It's not bringing him much good luck right now, but it's cool. I like it. It's definitely throwback vibes there for the number 4 now. And another paint scheme to talk about certainly would be the 7 of Ronnie Norman. Why, might you ask? Well, as we've already seen this paint scheme a couple of times here this season, I pinged Ronnie in the Discord chat. Well, I think it was yesterday or the night prior, I'm not really sure. As I've been open about, my birthday was Saturday. I am of drinking age. And Zach, I have found myself that I really enjoy Jim Beam Red Stag. I know you're not a drinker, that's fine. But for those of you out there that are of age, Jim Beam Red Stag, oh my, that goes down smooth, a little too smooth at times. And I told Ronnie we needed to get the Jim Beam car back out there this week, and he has done that. I do want to see an actual Red Stag paint scheme, but maybe one day. Maybe I'll have to paint it for him, I don't know. But regardless, it's a good-looking number 7. He is in 10th spot right now, and hopefully we'll see that Jim Beam number 7 a little farther north in the scoring pine line, at least at some point this evening. But regardless, Zach, I'm telling you, 6 shots went down a little too smoothly in about 15-20 minutes a couple nights ago. Something about Red Stag, man.
When you talk about alcohol, to me, it's the same as when I talk about Dragon Ball to you.
Maybe not quite, but I see your point. I'm not that much of a fanatic. Oh man, this is gonna turn into an intervention. But
there are more songs about alcohol than there are about anime.
Well, all I can tell you, we're about to go back green flag racing. Green flag, lap 107. Quickly dispatching of the number 38 is the top 4. Well, 3 at least, as 15 struggles a little bit. Oh, big move out of Cleva, down low of Chance Durham. He is looking for daylight.
I don't know if that was much as a move as it was just the rear end snapping out as the caution is out again on the racetrack.
This seems to be a bit bigger.
And, Brian Jones again.
Oh, my.
Big one out of 2. Wayne Sparks, Cody Anderson, John Border. Hunter Sr. has come to a stop at the top of 2. Oh, look at the chaos that has ensued.
This is going to be a relatively big one. Watch the 5 here of Sparks just wiped out.
Gets hit by Durheim.
Wiped out by Chase Durheim, and then everybody nowhere to go. Piles in. Brady Modes did a great job of checking up and all of that. John Border wanted to be a piece of it, I guess, and oh man, that was a lot.
I hear driver radio, and gentlemen, I'm going to educate you for a moment. It is called the Murtis Esports Murtis Mega Miss, and it looks like the 42 is requesting that he gets the Murtis Esports Murtis Mega Miss of the race.
He got a good one. I think Moats was in a little more carnage there without getting crashed, but both of them, I think, certainly are worth getting a look at. That was a more up close and personal look at it for all the carnage there for car 5. Here's another look on the way.
Well, the argument stems between the 8 and the 42 of who wants it, who's going to get it.
Here's the overhead, and oh man, they're both contenders.
Well, we could always put up a vote for the viewers at home to decide who gets the Murtis Esports Murtis Mega Miss.
Well, let's see. So here's the 42 of Smith. You see there's 3 wide ahead of him, and he gets on the binders quick. A lot of cars not able to avoid. He swerves low. Great job of getting through it. And then for the number 8 of Brady Motes. Now, he's had some really bad luck, so I'm a little more inclined to go straight to him, but here's Motes' view. Checking up, go low, go high. Oh, man.
I'm more inclined to give it to Smith just because he kept his relative pace up through it all. Made it through a little bit easier, a little bit smoother. But at the same time, it's not about making it through smooth, it's about surviving that near-miss experience.
I'm telling you, Zach. Brady Motes. I go Motes.
I
That's
still
okay
say
if
we
you go
let the
Smith?
viewers decide.
We'll see. Let's get back up to live picture and see where these guys are lined up first. And it'll still be Conover at the front of the field with Durheim and Kleba behind, and several cars taken to the pit lane as we saw that chaos ensue. I'll tell you what, Zach, if you can drum up 5 comments from folks wanting to see a vote for Murtis Mega Miss, we'll get one up. But we got to get those 5 comments. Separate people. You can't just account hop. You can't. You can't go signing in a different account, Zach. I know you. I know your tricks.
Well, I mean, come on. Alright, folks, well, if you want to see it, those are the 2 up for the Murtis Esports Murtis Mega Miss of the race so far. They are the best 2 candidates so far, actually. The only 2 candidates we have so far, so if you want to see which one might actually get it tonight, leave a comment out in the YouTube chat. But the pace car is going back into the safety of the pit lane. It's back to being Bristol, baby, as the pace car takes a hard left turn. Conover is going to lead us back into the restart zone, and we are green flag racing back at Bristol.
Big move, second place. Justin Kleba to the inside of Chance Durheim. This is the look from the Durheim machine. And caution is back out just as Chance was going for the race lead.
Off of turn number 4, actually on the back straightaway, it's Anderson in the 84 car. Ackerman, excuse me. Got him a little mixed up there.
See how this all happens here as Chase Durheim was lined up behind the 84. Don't tell me he gets 2 Hendrick cars in a row. No. Ackerman loose on his own, and you know, Zach, that makes sense. He has no rear bumper cover, and that can certainly impact aerodynamics.
Creates a bit of a vacuum type of effect on the rear end of the race car, and it just sucks all the air around. We've seen it a number of times in the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR O'Reilly Series. I famously remember, who was it, Justin Allgaier or Michael Annett at Daytona in, what, 2011 or 2012? Had the rear bumper cover come off and he went spinning in turn 1 or turn 3.
I admire the effort, by the way, to put it in reverse quick and get it off the racetrack. Bruce was certainly thinking of others there in that moment, and that's pretty cool, as we're going to see a handful of pit stops deeper in the field. I want to go back to a certain graphic we showed a little bit ago, the CC's Business Race Stats. It is new. It's the old race infographic. We have repurposed it, moved things around a little bit, and I think it certainly shows a lot more, Zach. We've fine-tuned it a bit to actually add more details here. So, you see the 10 cautions for the 44 laps so far. The 1 lead change in 116 laps. That was under caution a couple of cautions ago, as Conover took the lead over. This also shows how many laps are remaining, 184 laps, or 2 hours and 8 minutes in the session. And then the race distance. So, it's got a little more context as to what some of these stats actually mean. I think it's going to help us a lot moving forward, kind of get an idea of how things are going out there. But those 10 cautions, I know that's certainly higher than these guys want. It hasn't felt that bad to me, Zach. I'm not sure about you.
Honestly, I feel like we've just been breezing through it. I know we've been racing for quite a little while now. These guys started going green not
even an hour
Oh
ago.
my god, it's been an hour? It hasn't even been. Wow, okay. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't mind me. I'm just here.
Yeah, just under an hour so far for these guys. Of course, they did have the extra pace laps there, so that took a little bit of time. But all in all, I still think this is decent pace for the field, and it's always hard. These are difficult cars to drive. Take them around Bristol, which is a difficult track to drive. It's still earlier in the season. You know, bring these guys back in the summer for the night race, and I think we'll see.
Oh yes,
some cleaner racing.
Night racing at Bristol. You know, Andrew, before we go back green, I do want to give us a bit of a talking point going into this green flag run, hopefully. These guys running up at the front of the field, they have gained some serious track position. Conover's up from 29th. You've got Craig Martin in the 10th position. He's up from 31st. You've got Cody Smith up from 21st and 9th. And then you've got Pressy and Cheney up from 12th and 18th as we get ready to go back green here.
And cam restart coming at you. Lap 119 becomes lap 20. Green flag back in the air. Conover with a big launch. And Chance Durheim might have just blinked out. He's back. Scav Mickey holding his own right now in that 38 car. He is lapped. Kyle Rochelle has made it into the top 5. Nicholas Pressy. We haven't had much green flag running to focus on other drivers, but there are a handful towards the front that we don't usually see as cautions out. And oh, Chance Durheim just had a massive issue. He wasn't even the caution, but he's blown up.
I just heard somebody blow up. I didn't know it was Durheim. Oh my goodness.
He's done. The engine's let go. The right front's off.
Bruce Ackerman seems to have a pit for repair flag as well.
This is huge, though. Second place running car. Caution comes out. He overcorrects into the outside wall, and he's cooked. I mean, that car is junk. Load it up. Get on home.
Not what you want to see out of the Roush Fenway Racing machine in that number 17. This is running with Conover up at the front of the...
Had a brief connection drop. He blinked, and then when it came back, the car was destroyed.
I don't even understand.
That's a little odd. You said Ackerman... Oh, and that was my sim dropping me out, I believe. Yes, so bear with us. Zach, you'll have to go radio mode for a second here, but let's see the incident.
It's TV radio mode!
Yeah, let's see the incident here first for the 84, and then we will get back into session as quickly as possible. He's on his own here, and then it all goes very badly.
Oh, wow, that's a big ol' impact for the 84 car.
I don't want to spend too much replay time on that. Oh!
That's what caused Durheim's incident!
Well, now I will spend a little more time on this. Zach, I want your opinion. Let's back it up to the right spot here. It seems like that's it. I don't like that. He did not try at all to save it.
That was a little egregious right there. That's what ended up ending Durheim's race, so... Well, that was definitely a little egregious there, I'll say. But... that's racing sometimes, I'll say, but it's Pit Stop TV radio mode now, ladies and gentlemen. We have some nice B-roll on screen as we get into some radio-style entities. I do like when we get to do this sometimes, because that means I get to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, but I get to have a little bit of fun as lights are back on the pace car at this time. You've got Josh Conover, your race leader at the moment. Dustin Kleba is up to the second spot. Ryan Housden has taken over that third place position with Kyle Rochelle in the fourth spot. Nicholas Pressey in fifth. Kenneth Cheney sixth. Jared Skinner is seventh. Cody Smith eighth. Craig Martin ninth. And Brady Moats, your top 10 running positions on the racetrack at the moment. It is Bristol Motor Speedway here on Pit Stop TV for the NORA Retro Cup Series. And we've still got a lot of race left to run, ladies and gentlemen. We are not even to the halfway mark. We are just about 25 laps shy as we still click under the caution flag. And the field clicks by onto lap number 127. Conover's still your race leader. We've got lap cars lining up on the bottom line. The lights are out on top of the iRacing.com safety car. And we are ready to turn these cars back loose here at Bristol Motor Speedway. I think we're going to be in for, hopefully, a good green flag run here as we roll through these caution flags. We've got multiple cars down on the bottom. You've got Scavnicki in that 38 car. He is lined up, ready to get a lap back. You've got Cody Anderson. You have got the 88 car of Nick Ham. And then you've got the 3 of Dalton Tucker down there on the bottom as the lap cars. Pace car is going to make the hard left turn onto the pit lane, and we are into the restart zone, and we are back green flag racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Josh Conover with a good jump on the restart. He's going to go down to the inside in turn number 1. They are side by side for the race lead. Kleba takes a big jump to the outside line. He gets a really good restart. He's going to take advantage of those tires and put number 9 out in front here at Bristol Motor Speedway on lap 129. It's Kleba, Conover, and Housden, your top 3, as the number 12 of Rochelle has worked himself up into the 4th spot, followed by the 0 of Pressey to make up your top 5. Then it's Cheney, Skinner, Smith, Martin, and Moats, your top 10, as we are on to lap 1, number 30 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Kleba starting to build a big gap as the lap cars are being a little bit of a nuisance for these top 4 contenders as Housden has moved on by to clear himself in that 3rd spot, and the caution flag is out once again here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and it is going to be a bit of an issue right here off of turn number 2. Kevin Baumler has gotten involved in that mix. It looks like going through turn number 2, Baumler overcooked it just a tad, spins it right down to the bottom, is able to lock it down and keep himself in a good spot. Big miss by Vincent Arthur. That is, in my opinion, a nomination for Murtis Esports. Murtis mega miss. That was a big, big miss by Vincent Arthur, who has a little bit of front-end damage, not from the incident that was just happening, but from something previous that we might have missed a little bit earlier on. But the caution flag is out once again, but the new race leader is Dustin Kleba. I say new, but it is not new, as Kleba, well, he's already been out in front already, but it is our second lead change of the day. So Kleba back out in front here at Bristol with Conover down to the 2nd spot, and then Housden in the 3rd spot, Kyle Rochelle in 4th, and Nicholas Pressey, your top 5. Then it's Cheney, Skinner, Smith, Martin, and Moats, your top 10 from what was the last green flag lap. We continue to ride under the caution flag. Got a couple of cars taking it into the pit lane, getting a little bit of service under this caution flag here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Now, I will say, one driver that is in the pit lane, that, if I can find him real quick, Brian Jones, he's down in the pit lane. He has miraculously stayed on the lead lap with that nose torn off the race car. And I know Andrew had previously talked about that 45 car being out of contention. Well, there is still a lot of laps left. There is still quite a bit of damage to get fixed on that 45 car, but he has been moving up ever so slowly throughout the field. And with more and more cars going laps down, Andrew, it is looking more and more likely that that 45 car might cruise himself up to the front, regardless of if he is making green flag passes or not.
Well, as you can see, we have regained picture back in the sim. Give things just a moment to reinitialize, I suppose, as paint's got to reload and timing and scoring data needs to reset a little bit, but Jake Christenberry, the 1 car, officially out of this. Everybody else still within the session in some way, and It looks like even Scav Nicky, 31 laps down, is trying to hang in here. He's lined up down low of the leaders. Nick Ham's still in this. He's in 34th, 14 laps down. Dalton Tucker even still in it, 12 laps down. Green flag on the way. Let's get this race back rolling at Bristol Motor Speedway. The last great Coliseum roars back to life. Zach, I don't know about you, but I'm watching this 15 and 12. They are very, very close.
We're super close, coming off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway they go. Rochelle trying to see if he can find a way around the 15. Look at Brian Jones. He is trying to keep that 45 car on the lead lap. Well, actually, he's 1 lap down. So he's trying to keep that car 1 lap down rather than going 2 down. He would be the free pass car, and if he gets the free pass, he would be back on the lead lap. But Kleba is going to move on by that 45 car. He's fighting tough. He's trying to stay in it, but it's not going to make a difference as the 9 car has moved on by to keep himself in the clean air. Josh Conover down to the bottom. It's got to be that new dad energy, that new dad aura that keeps that 45 in contention, or that 48 in contention up at the front of the field. He has been a front runner just about every single week so far. I'm looking at Conover to be an all-round competitor as the season goes on, especially Housden as well, too. He has been a very high-level competitor up at the front of the field a couple of weeks in a row now.
It was decent last week at Atlanta, had some early speed. I don't recall exactly where he finished. I know he was in the running for some of our personal selections for power rankings, but certainly he's been doing well for himself as of late, and I think outrunning typically what the 15 would have done. No offense to Michael Waltrip, but I think outperforming what it would have done back in 2005. Meanwhile, Rochelle hasn't made every single race this season, but has been doing really well for himself when he can race in that number 12, and this is certainly excelling beyond what he's done even so far this season. He is looking really good so far, but it's still early. We still have over half the race to go here, Zach, and anything can change. Anything
and everything, you mean, as the fight in the midfield is starting to heat up just a tad.
So it's a 28 of stats, typically driven by Nick Geilis. He's out there in YouTube chat this evening. Alongside the number 7 of Ronnie Norman. This is a battle for, this is going to be about 15th spot.
You've got the 99 of Blackwell and Vincent Arthur right behind these two.
Joseph Andujar ahead in the number 07. And Joseph is, let's see, I'm trying to find him here on scoring. That's actually 4 positions, so he's running 15th.
Ooh, look at how tight it's getting. Close quarters racing.
This is actually a battle for 14th then, since Andujar is in at 4th position. Andujar trying to hang on. Ronnie Norman trying to take that spot away. That would be for 14th spot, just behind the 25 of Matthew George. And you mentioned it, Blackwell and Arthur right behind these guys. This is a lot of great competition as the caution is out once again. This time, John Border.
It's Border. Not again. Tire off on that 43 car on the right front. It looks like his day is going to be done.
Yeah, that looks even worse than the 45.
No meatball flag. That's surprising.
Well, John Border has certainly seen better days. Let's see how this happened. Racing with Brad Fulham on the 91. This was into turn number 3. Nick Ham right behind him. Watch this off the corner. Ham comes up. Border might have come down, and boom, inside wall. That's a big hit.
The racing incident, in my opinion, right there.
Been a lot of those tonight.
Robbie Adams on the spotter stand for that 43 car. I'm sure he was calling inside off of turn number 4.
Yeah, I don't think John did anything there. I think that's all on the 88 car. But just like with Vincent and who was it, Brian Jones there, I mean, this is almost carbon copy of that.
Yep.
I don't know that either driver necessarily did anything completely wrong, and Border maybe came left a tiny little bit, but I mean, that's just racing here at Bristol. It's really tough to manage those corner exits, both outside and inside. and very easy to do what they just did, as a handful of cars will stay out. This will now be 53 laps and beyond for Klima. I believe Conover was up over 100, so there was certainly reason for him to come in and get service. I think he might try to make one more stop here tonight, Zach, but he could maybe try to stretch it out kind of late and bolt a set on late, depending on how the cautions fall. I think there's certainly some options for these guys, as Dustin Klima leads here once again over 15 and the 12. Greg Martin up into the top 5. He is going to restart in 4th. Good to see him up here. And then Brady Moats in the top 5 now. Dominic Bettini in the top 10. We have not seen him in a couple of weeks. Had a good run started for the season, actually. Was in contention for the chase and then missed, I think, at least last week, if not 2 in a row. And unfortunately has dropped out of the top 24 and so pretty deep in the field. But Zach, I know we've been talking about it a couple times already. It's still so early in this season, you know, especially with NASCAR going back to the original kind of chase format, almost mirroring what we're doing here this season. There is so much time. You know, it's just like in the Cup Series right now. I would not be concerned if you're the rest of the field. Yes, Tyler Reddick just won 3 in a row, but it was 2 drafting tracks at a road course that he's historically good at. Granted, we have had 4 races, 3 of them on intermediates or speedway type racetracks, just the 1 drafting track. Still, I think it's very early. Not at all reason to panic just yet.
Who's panicking? I'm not panicking. You're panicking. What's panicking? We don't need to be panicking right now.
Point proven.
It was a joke, though. I was trying to be funny.
Well, but point proven. There's no reason to panic just yet. As a 3 of Dalton Tucker will line up down low.
You laugh, but you don't laugh because of the joke. You laugh because of the explanation.
It's the delivery. It's the delivery.
Man.
You should work for Amazon or UPS or FedEx or something, because the delivery on that was pretty solid. The package, I mean, jury's out. Here we go. Just past halfway at Bristol Motor Speedway, and we've got a chance to see these guys go racing once again. Off of turn number 4, green flag is back out. Dalton Tucker racing on the inside of Klima off the restart. I'm surprised. Dalton Tucker is 12 laps down. I know there's always the case of, you know, these guys have their own race to run, but the next car ahead of Tucker is 6 laps ahead, the next car behind, 2 laps behind. I don't know that this is the fight. I don't think this is the hill to die on, you know?
Drivers are going to do what benefits drivers. I've always said it and always will. Tucker has been one of the cars that we've seen show a lot of speed in these first few weeks of the season. I think he wants to keep that speed up. And caution is back out on the racetrack once again. That is Wayne Sparks around on the back straightaway. That's not the first incident we've seen that 5-car involved in tonight. Some rear end damage on that race car. This is rolling up off of turn number 4. You can see a big wiggle right there out of the 5-car. This is down into 1 and 2. Just overcooks it, locks it down. Oh, almost spins back up onto the racetrack, but he does a good job of locking it down, keeping it on the bottom. I think Anderson was trying to anticipate where he was going to go. And looks like the 5 just kept it down there and kept it down there correctly.
Let's see this replay a little further back. You see he was loose there off of 2. This is 3. Looks stable into 3. Loose off 4. Into 1. Loose, loose, loose. It's certainly not an easy combo. I get it. You know, this is one of the trickier ones I think we'll see this season. If we go back to the schedule here for the 2026 season of the NORA Retro Cup Series, well, there you go. Of course, we open things up at Daytona, California, Las Vegas, Atlanta, some classic, you know, larger speedway, intermediate type races. Bristol and Martinsville, this is where things, I think this is the first real speed bump of the season, surely. It's 2 weeks back-to-back on short tracks. It's going to test these guys a little bit, especially here in the first 6. But then we stretch our legs back out a little bit. Yes, we'll have some more complicated races at Phoenix, Darlington, and Richmond, but Phoenix, it's going to be old Phoenix. There's a little more room to race there, I feel like. It's going to stretch the field out. You won't have these guys cut in the apron. Darlington, that certainly has the making of being a good race, and Richmond, that's tricky too. That's just like Bristol and Martinsville, Zach. That is really tough. It always has been on iRacing. I think it always will be. Dover certainly is one of those other ones that you just got to kind of grit your teeth and get through it. But looking ahead, not just for the NORA Retro Cup Series, but also here for Pit Stop TV, we can take a look at what's upcoming for us, Zach. Here's the first look at the next few shows here on the channel. Tomorrow night, it's the BRB Sundance Pro Series from Homestead Miami Speedway. That is the season finale. They will be crowning a champion tomorrow night, and it feels like it has come way, way too soon. Very tight points battle. It's worth tuning in for, that's for sure. A lot of great storylines over there. We'll have a pre-race show, the MX Traps pre-race show, 8:30, and then some great racing on after that. Then this Thursday, it is the amateur round for the North American Racing League GT3 drivers at Mexico City. And then Sunday morning, we get up bright and early, right after time change, and we go racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway with the All-American Racing Network.
Oh, God. I forgot about daylight savings time.
Yes, time change. I'm not going to lie, Zach, I had this one circled as the one I'm going to want to do the least. Not that I don't want to broadcast, it's just going to suck being up that early in the morning. I am not a morning person. I typically at least sleep until 9 or 10, and I'm not usually functional until closer to 11. We'll see. It's going to be early, but we will get through it.
I can function. I am not the best at it. I think that was clear the last time we hopped on a broadcast for him, but hey, it's Monday night. We're going back racing into the into the restart zone. We are back green flag racing here at Bristol.
Big moves out of Rochelle. Watch that 12. Side by side behind these guys. Dalton Tucker up here as well. He's still a thorn in the side of Dustin Kleba. One lap complete off the restart. Kleba's got a mirror full of RCR number 3. Or I guess DEI number 3 technically. Uh-oh.
Big move to the inside.
That's bold.
Down to 1 lap down.
I think it's wise, though, of Dustin to just let him go for right now. Clearly, he wants to race. All right, let him go. If you get your quick caution, he'll finally... Well, no, he won't be out of your hair. He's still going to line up down there because he's 11 laps down. So he's still going to be trying to race, but...
Oh!
What's that?
I thought he was 2 laps down.
No, he was 12, now 11 laps behind the leaders, so... the 3 is going to be a challenge on these leaders probably until the final 10 laps of the race.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Great racing back here, though.
Here's a fight a little bit further back.
Andujar, Blackwell, Conover, Baumler, Smith. We've seen a lot of the leaders tonight. This is a little bit further back.
There's Pressy right behind them, getting involved in it a little bit. Conover gave up that front-running position to take some tires, head to the pit lane. Now Pressy trying to find his way back forward in the 13th position. He's got Baumler to his outside. He's got to run down to the bottom. Not going to get clear of the 81 just yet. Down into 1. Looks like he is going to be well clear, and sight set on the number 07 of Andujar.
Pressy going to try and go by Andujar. He will.
For the 11th spot right here. Gets clear into 1.
So position gained there for Nick Pressy, and now Cody Smith working on Brady Motes. This is a side-by-side for the 10th position, 9th position actually. You know, that 8 car is one that has won at Bristol before. Maybe not the driver, but that number 8 was successful for a good bit at Bristol Motor Speedway. Meanwhile, it was the 42 that won this race a year ago. Not the driver, but the car. Here in the NORA Retro Cup Series. Dalton Tucker drove that car last season and was able to grab the win here at Bristol early in the season. tonight. Cody Smith doing a good job. I mean, he's been as high as 6th, but no laps led, of course, and has been kind of up and down through the field. It's not an earth-shattering kind of race at all yet from Cody, but give him some time. He's still trying to figure things out. Is Nick Pretzi going to bear down now on car 42? And Conover and Blackwell are side by side.
Ooh, Blackwell taps the wall there out of the 99. Slide a little bit behind the 48 car. They're still neck and neck with each other, I'll say, on the quarter panel right there on the 48. And Conover gets on by Blackwell. That is for the 7th spot. A little bit further back. This is the fight just inside the top 10. Smith with a big run off of turn number 4. Cressy gets a big shot out of a
Cressy
cannon.
got gone.
That was a big jump off of Moats.
Meanwhile, up ahead, Chase Durheim getting by the 22 of Craig Martin. Now Martin going to have Vincent Arthur behind him. So some of the big guns here of the field working on by the 22 machine. But the track position working out so far for Craig Martin. Still in the top 5 as Kleba, Housden, Rochelle start to work away. Durheim got clear finally. He's into 4th. There's the onboard of Vincent Arthur. Looks like we have either a Joseph Andujar fan or a Ronnie Norman fan in the chat. I'm going to go based on the username Joe A and think it might be Joseph Andujar's father checking in this evening, which would be Joseph Andujar Jr. or the 2nd. Well, Andujar has been running good so far. He did just slide back to about 20th spot. So he just had a moment. It looks like he's back to 20th, some rear end damage, but he has been holding his own this evening. So in a season where he has had some rough runs to get the season started, this is so far going better. Right now, a slight detour from that as he's been near or in the top 10 a few times tonight. Now has the 91 of Fulham on the inside, and then a break from positional cars for a little bit. So he will drop into 21st and try to regain himself. He is on 84 lap old tires, so that is older tires than the cars ahead and behind. So I wouldn't panic at all if I'm in the Andujar camp. Meanwhile, Brady Moats, also on about 85 lap old tires. He is going the wrong direction completely. Kenneth Chaney just went by. Ronnie Norman's now behind, and the 8 car just does not look good right now. Again, though, old tires. I wouldn't panic, but admittedly, the speed is not there right now for the 8.
Hey, I'm not panicking. You're panicking.
Oh, not again.
Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room.
A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once.
Crazy? I was crazy once.
Battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Martin, Arthur, and Conover. You see the 33 behind. That is Cody Anderson, 2 laps down. In terms of lucky dog, that would currently go to Wayne Sparks. He is the only car 1 lap down. He runs in 26th. Ooh, I just saw a timing and scoring glitch there for Ronnie Norman, but it seems like it has sorted itself out as teammates at Hendrick Motorsports are side by side.
Vincent Arthur, he is in the wall still. He's still in the wall. Cody Smith down underneath the 24. Anderson, who's laps down, is trying to find his way forward as well. You know, Andrew, this is one of the hard parts about Bristol. It's so tight quarters, it's so close together that usually on a big track you would see a lap car get out of the way, and even if they are racing, they're still very much separated from the car in front that's on the lead lap. It's all so close quarters with these guys. Lap cars or not, you are still in the mix every single part of this racetrack.
This is the view from Cody Smith ahead at the battle between Arthur and Martin. And yeah, lap cars tonight. Well, there's a caution. Oh boy, this is Donald Kite and maybe Nick Ham again. Yeah, it looks like it. This could be the 2nd time they've been involved, and oh, Kite has got some damage. Big time on the nose of that 21 car. I think he'll be able to continue, but certainly a little bit wounded there is the number 21 machine, and we'll get a look at it here. Earlier, Kite got into the back of Ham and sent him into turn 3, crashed him. Here, we'll see what happens. Kite gets a run, they just make contact, and in the wall they go. What's your read on that one, Zach?
I don't know, let me see it again. Let me see it a couple times. I don't want to just go off the cusp here, which is normally what we do anyway. Oh no.
Ham might have come down a bit.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's tough. Here's a look. I think this was the initial view we saw. It is. Yeah, Ham just came off the wall very, very slightly. Not much, but it was just enough that when the 21 came up next to him off the corner, they made contact. I mean, it is very, very slight contact. And then, unfortunately, ends up wadding them both up on the outside of the racetrack. And I think it's certainly going to hurt the 21 more than the 88, but neither one wanted that. Jared Skinner will stay out under this caution, along with Dominic Bettini, and look at third, Brian Jones. Seems like he might be staying out. Maybe not. He's still staying out, but he is going to the rear, maybe. Or something. He's dropped behind Cleveland. Now he is going to pit. And that, I think, is a wise decision. He's still missing that front bumper. Come in, even if it's 10 seconds, get more repairs made.
Just doing everything he can to keep that car on the racetrack. And looking at the lap count, Andrew, we are almost within 100 laps to go.
We are starting to get there.
There's not much time left in this race, especially for Brian Jones to try and make some ground up. I think he's still got a solid piece on that 45. Maybe still not in winning contention yet, but still has a chance to make something happen. You see smoke and fire still in the pit lane. That's one of the Durheim brothers down there, still with a blown motor.
That'll be Chance Durheim in the 17. We saw him in that crash earlier on with the 84 of Bruce Ackerman. And again, I don't want to focus on it too much. I'm sure it wasn't, I will say, obviously, Bruce doesn't have some mastermind plan to, involve anybody else in his issue and crash anybody else out of the race. But I do think, from what I saw, my read on it, and maybe there's more to it, more nuance, but from the little bit of TV replay I saw, I think that was a bit irresponsible. But there could always be more to the story. So certainly would love to maybe get more information there from Ackerman on that. And it's just not, we haven't talked to any drivers yet, so those of you watching out on YouTube, we will make an effort, I think, under the next couple of cautions, if we get some more, talk to some drivers. In that case, I want to know who you want to hear from. We are going to be doing driver of the day probably in about 60 to 70 laps, and Zach, it seems we might be back to some pace car issues.
Look, man, the pace car is just lazy. Okay, they're just not doing their job today. They need to step up their game a little bit. As we roll through 3 and 4, it is back into the restart zone, and we are back green flag racing. Oh, Houston!
That restart, that's big.
Run over!
That's large. Very, very large. The entire field.
Instant Arthur!
The entire field not involved, but right behind it is, oh, Houston, watch out.
This is not good.
No, that's two really good cars in the 15 and 48 at the very least that are going to be out of this, I think, or at least, again, not competitive any longer. So the 15 there did not get a good restart, spun his tires, they check up. Boy, he had a lot of problems, and three good cars with Chase Durheim getting a bunch of damage as well. Let's go on board at the 15 of Houston and listen in, Zach. Listen in. So he spun his tires and then couldn't get it into the next gear. That is a whole slew of restart issues there for Houston, and that's really unfortunate. That's a driver that we've been talking a lot about lately. I think very proud of as of late, and here just spun his tires, then got stuck in gear. Andujar, Tucker, the lap cars involved. The lead lap cars, of course, Houston, but then Conover with a bunch of damage. and Chase Durheim as well. Nowhere to go. Joey Stat's able to wind the car down in time, but here's the look at it from the perspective of the 16. Rochelle also got a piece, but I think he got through it more or less okay. Here's Durheim's look.
Vincent Arthur really got through that really well. You can see him to the right side of your screen. Oh, then the hood goes up and goes back down on the 16 of Durheim. Maybe minimal damage on that 16 car.
Watch the 24 here.
Just pop! Woo!
Do you want me to run the graphics,
motor
Zach?
let go. Run the graphic.
One more look.
Jeremy Rubin out of the race as well. Oh, baby!
So some problems starting to compound around the racetrack as the 45 now is back in the pit lane. I can't tell if he is under power or not. You said a motor let go. He is under power, so he will continue.
It was Rubin, I think, in the 77. That's the only pit for repair flag that I see at the moment.
It was his motor. You saw it there briefly. We'll see if I can get a good angle here and speed it up a little bit. And right about here, right there. So that was Jeremy Rubin's engine letting go as he let the car sit in the pit lane. You never want to see that. He was probably waiting on some mechanical repairs, you know, suspension and such, and then the car overheated from being left on for too long. Well, Zach, one more look at what's upcoming for us around the channel. Again, tomorrow night, Homestead Miami Speedway ARCA car is on track for the BRB Sundance Pro Series, the final race of season number 5. And it is a very tight points battle. I'm quickly trying to look over and confirm, but 1 point between Adam Buzzio and Zach Hall. 1 point straight up race. There's a couple of others in contention. Brendan Maddox, who will be racing here next week. Then Stephen Borbell and Johnny Wood Jr. also in contention. That's going to be a lights out kind of night at Homestead. And then Thursday, it's out to Mexico City once again with the North American Racing League. And Sunday, again, we're back at it with the All-American Racing Network as they head to Sin City, Las Vegas. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Let's go racing. I've got 99 problems, and a caution is one. It's big.
Just inside of... Oh, man, just inside of 100 laps to go.
That was my joke.
Gone over with more damage. Oh. Okay. No, I got it
99 problems. I was going to say a caution ain't one because we just got back racing, but then the caution came out, so the caution was one. But yes, the 99 problems was because we had 99 to go, and there you see the contact from Joseph Andujar into the 42 of Cody Smith, and they stacked up trying to miss it.
Really good job by everybody just blowing it up, not getting into the incident. This is right behind the fight up at the front of the field, just behind the top 5. Andujar just gets into the 42 of Smith. Blackwell gets a piece.
Pressy had nowhere to go. Norman and Cheney made some contact.
And Cheney spins up the racetrack. Conover gets it locked up and locked down on the top side.
Here's Norman down into turn 3. He just gets into Cheney. You see the results of that.
Front bumper was off and then it was on again.
Meanwhile, for the 14, here's the ride along for Kenneth Cheney. The crash starts ahead. He gets on the binders quick, and he gets run over. I mean, it's difficult.
I mean, he didn't do anything wrong locking it down. Just ended up getting run over by the driver behind him. I mean, and that's not to show any. Jeez, I'm getting tongue-tied. That's not to throw any shade at Ronnie Norman. I know they all did a great job trying to get it locked down. Just sometimes, as we've said throughout the broadcast, sometimes wrecks are unavoidable.
Dual saving here for Jared Skinner. He pitted 55 laps ago. See there, clutch in, or off even. Yeah, he's clutch in and switching the ignition off briefly. Trying to save all the fuel he can. So Zach, this tells me he's trying to not pit again. And hang on to this track position.
I don't know how well that's going to go, because Kleba's right behind him, and he has been strong all race long. That's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a really tough one.
I think if you look at where Jared has run this evening, it's mostly been, yeah, kind of the 5th to 20th range, even 5th to 15th maybe. So, you know, this, if he can just stay top 3, I think that's an overall win for the strategy. I don't think he has to win in order for the strategy to win. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I had to think on that for a second, because it's not that I didn't understand you. It's just that, you know, mainly strategies are to win the race.
Ideally, but,
So-
you know, you also just want a points race, and he's got to win already this season coming back at California. So I think if he can just, again,
He
if the
needs to get up there
strategy...
in top 12, though.
Yes. Well, to that point then, points racing, if he can just get a good points night, I think that overall is going to be a win as far as trying to make it into the chase and fight for the championship this season. But here we go. 94 laps to go. We'll get the green flag in just a moment. There it is. Restart zone. Racing once again at Thunder Valley. On board, Vincent Arthur, 16-lap old tires. He's got a run on Rochelle.
The outside. Big send into turn number 3. Arthur with a big swing off of turn number 4. Saw the rear end tap the wall ever so briefly on the outside of that 12 car. Lost his momentum. Falls back behind into the 4th spot. Now he's trying to run back down. See if he can get that 3rd place position back.
It's been a decent night so far for Arthur, but he has certainly been on a roller coaster. We've seen plenty of strength out of him all season long, and battle for the race lead. Skinner and Kleba, side by side. You mentioned it, Zach. Kleba would be stronger. He's got the lead back away from Jared Skinner. But again, I don't think this is a loss yet for the 0-4. I think if he can hang out of some track position up here, it's still going to be okay. We'll see.
He's got to find a way to stay up there. That's all I have to say about that. I will say, queuing away from the leaders a little bit, his teammate in that number 4 car of Hunter Sr., he's finally starting to have a little bit of things go his way. He is still on the lead lap. He's sitting in the 20th position, I'll say, but he was all the way down in last position at the start of this race after an issue early on. Put him up into the wall. He's done a really good job to try and rebound his race and keep himself in contention. How about Kenneth Cheney, too? He is up a little bit as well. He just got involved in that most recent incident. He's still on the lead lap. He's still staying in it, and he's still got a really good shot at keeping himself in contention. If I'm not mistaken, there he is, right in front of Cheney. That's Brian Jones. He's got the nose back on that race car, Andrew. He is getting himself back in contention in this race.
Still a lap down, 23rd spot for Jones, but I wanted to highlight Cheney here. He's, of course, also in with the 0-4 and the 4. They are all teammates. So Cheney having a good night in the 14. It's been a little bit different. We've seen him, leading laps and being very, very fast the opening races of the season. Tonight, not so much in that category, but he is now in the top 10. Meanwhile, up ahead, Jared Skinner has slid back into the 6th position. So maybe that strategy is starting to go awry for him. He might want to consider hitting the pit lane one more time before the end of this race, as Kevin Baumler is now just behind and to the inside. And Baumler, oh man, he was quick to correct us earlier in the season when he was not having bad races, but then last week did not go well for him at all. And he fell out of not only the top points positions, but off of our power rankings graphic. It was not a great time for him at Atlanta whatsoever. But Kevin Baumler, top 5 almost, top 6 currently, chasing down Noah Blackwell. And again, Blackwell moved over to the Roush Fenway team last week to put the 99 on track, and boy, this is a great decision by him. When we saw him run the 66 back at Las Vegas, it was not a very, shall we say, spectacular day for him. But jumping in the 99, I know it's just a paint scheme in this case, Zach, because the cars are all the same, but Blackwell looking really good tonight at Bristol.
Absolutely. He's had such a strong run all race long. He's had his ups and downs, but seeing that 99 in the top 5, really, really pleasing to see as the fight's up front, but the caution is back out once again on the racetrack, on the back straightaway. That's Andrew. Oh, the engine has let go on that 07 car.
That's going to be day over for Joseph Andujar. I don't think there's enough time to get him back in the race at this point. He was racing back here with Wayne Sparks in the 5. They've both had some issues tonight. Sparks with 2 self-spins, and one where he got dumped, and he ends up getting the 07, and wow, that's a big hit for both of them. Great miss by the 32 and the 88.
Laps are winding down, Andrew. We are running out of time.
Oh, that's a massive hit. For Bristol, that's big.
That is really, really big hit. Yowza.
One more look at it. You see the 5 just getting to the 07. Boom, head on into the wall. And again, great misses by a handful of those cars. The 32, the 88, the 43. We'll see that from the perspective of car 43, John Border. Behind the wheel, driver's eye POV. Watch this. Oh. I will say, these guys have, I think, so far this season proved on a league-wide basis, they don't want to quit. They don't want to just pull over and get out of the car as soon as they have trouble. They want to keep racing, stay in it, and get all the points they can, and I respect that so much. I talk about it a lot, wanting to see guys stay in the race as long as they can, Zach, not give up too early, not give up at all. You know, I really appreciate seeing these guys give it their best shot, give it their all, stay in the race as long as they can. If the car is operational, if the car can run, it should be running, in my opinion. And again, in general, over these first 5 races of the season, it seems like the league as a whole wants to keep going, wants to stay out on the racetrack and get all the points possible. And I, again, appreciate that. Well, Zach, we're not nominating yet. I think we'll do that in probably about 40 or 50 more laps. But we are in the final 100. Who do you think is so far in the running for the North American Racing League Driver of the Day honors?
Pleba, for starters. I think that's a no-brainer pick right there.
Also, Zach, I'm being informed that my son, Andrew Cardinale V, is recognizing the 24 on screen and saying, Jeff Gordon?
Yes! Ha-ha!
I was able to pass on a bunch of my old cars and Hot Wheels and diecasts and such to Drew, as he got to the age where he could start playing with them. And one of them was about a 2003-ish Jeff Gordon 1/64th size car, and he has just always loved it. I haven't been able to pass on that many of the NASCAR ones yet because I don't have a lot of my 1/64th lying around, but I've gotten him a couple lately. A Joey Logano one, of course, a Josh Berry one, certainly. Trying to get him to learn more of the cars so that we're not just having Jeff Gordon set around the house. He's got to learn some other names. Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, some of those guys, but it sounds like it has made the 3-year-old happy, and that is certainly the goal this evening. The young crowd getting in on the fun here at Bristol. Let's go. Green flag once again, racing at Bristol. Here we go. 1 lap complete off the restart. Vincent Arthur looking good. The top 9 all stayed out under that caution. Zach, from 10th on back, brand new tires.
You wouldn't be mistaken if you thought that Halson was still running up at the front, but he is currently sitting laps down as we've got one car slow. That's Fulham down the back straightaway. He gets it back rolling. We are still green with 71 laps to go, 70 laps as they come back to the start-finish line. And it's all Vincent Arthur trying to chase down those top 2. Cressy, I think he's got some good speed in that race car. He's trying to find a way to get up there, but those cars in front, they just keep clicking away ever so much as the laps go on, and the caution flag is back out once again.
Joey Stats, car 28, in trouble here on the outside of the racetrack. This is into turn 3. So trouble for the fill-in there for Nick Geilis. There's a look at it. Right behind Dominic Bettini and Jared Skinner. Kite to the inside, and Cody Reeder grabs the 28. Kite might have more damage than Stats, although, well, Stats got the wall there at the end, but I think the 21 got the worst end of the deal. So they stacked up there. Reeder just taps the 28 car, but that's a decent hit to the outside wall there for Kite. I think he'll still be okay, but it's going to be a hindrance at the very least.
It's a pretty tame incident overall, honestly.
It is.
They just kind of got to go, oh, look at that. That's what started up front. That was Hunter Sr. that washed up the racetrack momentarily. That's what stacked him on the outside.
And I got to mention this. Both Cody Reeder, or not Cody Reeder, for my brain. Where did Hunter Sr. go? Where's the 4 car? Hunter Sr. I found out after Atlanta last week that a couple of the drivers here in the series used to either know me or race against me on NASCAR 15, Zach, way back in the day on Xbox 360. And Hunter Sr. is one of them that recognized the name. For reference, if anybody's out there watching, I know we had at least one of the Juicy Spider folks out there, because I saw Evil Spider in the YouTube chat. My gamer tag back on 360 was Low 5 with a 3 at the end. And you can even go back on Bits.tv, not that I want you to because I was 10 years younger, but you can go back and see some of the old NASCAR 15 races we did. I would stream them from my perspective, and well, that was how I got started into content creation and YouTube. Hunter Sr. is one of them, but Zach, Donald Kite, he's one that I actually do believe I raced against. His gamer tag was Chained Graboid, I think one of the Xbox generated ones, and I knew the name was familiar when I saw the Discord name in the League Discord. I couldn't place it, but I knew it was familiar. I mean, it's been 10 years at this point. But yeah, Donald Kite was one that used to run in a couple of leagues that I partook in at least one point or another. And then Juicy Spider, Nick Happyack is one of the names that I recognized. And certainly guys like Josh Arnold and some others. They're not racing here in the series, but they are associated with Juicy Spider and some of the leagues they run. So the Juicy Spider networks run deep, and the connections certainly do as well. It's good to see some old names from, again, a decade ago on console games out there on iRacing these days and making their way in this sim racing world. It's cool how small this world can be sometimes, to run back across guys from, literally 10 years ago. I mean, I got off of NASCAR 15 in 2016. It's now 2026. This year will be my 10th on iRacing. So it's definitely been a good long while. But here we go, back out of the restart zone, just over 60 to go, 64 in fact, when we hit the stripe. Dustin Kleva leading. He's done so most of the day. Green flag back out at Bristol. Vincent Arthur, big run on the top. Watch that 24.
Ooh, that was close right there. Big checkup out of the 24 and the 0 as Arthur tags the wall on the front straightaway. That's going to stack him a little bit into 2, but we stay single file and still rolling forward.
One car on the apron. He's leaving the pit lane. That's Wayne Sparks in the 5 car. Battle further back. Cheney, Bettini, they're side by side here, just ahead of them. Skinner, side by side with a few cars. John Border down low, 3 wide. That's difficult at Bristol. They figure it out. No! Big crash. Maybe it's big enough. Oh, the 28's around, the 48's in it. The 25.
Just when we thought it was all going in the right direction.
The 3 wide there.
wide.
Cheney
That
came
doesn't look
down.
very
Oh. Yeah, I called it out as it happened. The 3 wide was just not going to work, and Cheney pulled left to avoid his teammate Skinner on the outside, and you see the result of that. Then Cheney goes on to get turned by Stats in the 28, and Conover kind of bullied his way into it as well. Wasn't much contact for the 48 car, but just enough to consider him involved. Here's a look at it from his perspective. Roof cam on car 48. Just gets into his teammate George and just kind of scrapes on by, honestly, barely involved. Some drivers pitting under this caution. One of them is going to be Conover. He kind of leads the charge here, Zach. Conover's coming in, Hunter Sr., Brad Fulham, Kyle Tubb, Cody Smith, Brian Jones, and a bunch more, but it seems like the cut line for the pits is going to be about 15th spot. Fulham actually stays out on the racetrack. 16th on back, it seems, is pitted, as there is Hunter Sr. along with Kyle Tubb, Brian Jones, and a handful of others. Nick Pressey in the pit lane. I didn't quite expect that. He's been great tonight. Of course, if you need tires, you need tires. He comes in for 4 in fuel. He's one that I'm kind of considering for driver of the day. Depending on where he's at in about 20 more laps, Zach, the 0 has been really, really interesting to watch.
I'll say it's been a solid run for a lot of these guys lately. I think we have got the shapings of a good finish, but I don't know.
Field getting doubled back up behind the iRacing.com safety car, but there is the extension of the caution. And, you know, we talk about the 2003 NASCAR Cup car a lot. We don't necessarily talk about what it is all the time. Here are the stats on this vehicle. This is the 2003 NASCAR Cup Series car as it is on iRacing. We do not have the Dodge. And in 03, we would have still had Pontiacs out there, but we don't have the Dodge or the Pontiac. We only have the Chevrolet and the Ford. That gives us the Monte Carlo and the Taurus. But they're both 358 cubic inch pushrod V8 engines, 900 horsepower, approximately 530 foot-pounds of torque. Of course, the 4-speed H-pattern gearbox that you would expect from a stock car typically. 2-frame chassis, 3,400 pounds, big, heavy car. You know, that's all the same you would expect. They are larger fuel cells when they do run 100%, 22 gallons. It's a pretty large amount of fuel, actually. We'll see that be used at some of the other Crown Jewel races this season. 77% here this evening, and you see the rest of those details as we get ready to go back. Green Flag Racing with about 56 to go this time. Let's watch this from the fan cam. Zach, green flag on the way. Kleba launches, racing once again at the world's fastest half mile. Great restart again out of Vincent Arthur, but how far can he go this time? He's been working on this 12 car for a while. Finally gets by Rochelle. Arthur up to second.
Now nothing. Well, there's one car in front of him. I was going to say nothing separates the 24 and the 9 now, but that's Housen up there in front, trying to get a lap back. Kleba says the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, I don't think he's just going to run that
And
9 car down.
down.
Caution, though. Cody Anderson, Joey Stats, and some others. Looks like Scavnicki involved. Oh, my gosh. Cody Smith. That's big.
Oh, boy. Stuck inside the 38 car right there. Oh, my goodness.
Finally get apart. We see that in Legends racing sometimes, but not typically in big-time stock car racing. Here's a look at it for Nick. Well, I almost said Nick Niles. Joey Stats, rather. That was already happening. Wow. That was huge. What the heck happened here? The 33 and the 38 get this started, and we got to go back and get more context, but then you see it happen. The 28 comes in, and Anderson in the 33 pulls away from it. Yeah, what the heck is going on here? This is Anderson down low, Skavnicki up top, and Skavnicki came down a bit. He was, admittedly, Zach, nearly 30 laps down at the time, so you know, a lap car versus a lead lap car, I mean, that's always not going to look good. I guess never going to look good is the better way to put it.
It's a short track, Andrew. It's a very, very close quarter short track. There's not a lot of room for people to go.
And they would have been okay, but then Stats lost it on his own down there. I'm not sure what was going on for the 28 car, but you know, they would have been okay. Certainly some damage to the 38 and 33, but they would have kept going. Then Stats in the 28 backs it into the corner and just loses it up into the 33 of Anderson, and they all stack up. And then Anderson...
Again,
or Smith, I don't know what
Smith was doing.
It's another thing
we've been seeing. It's just another thing we've been seeing all race long. Guys are overcooking it into turn one. It's just snapping around on him. This is on board with Cody Smith. Snaps around. He's got nowhere to go. I mean, he had a little bit of place to go, but... Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was a little confused about. Kind of turned back into it after the fact. I think he might have been annoyed at the 38 car, but I mean, I don't know. You know, with these restart rules, the single file restarts, lap cars bottom, this is going to be a product. And I personally prefer double file restarts for this reason. You know, I don't like the lap cars being mixed in, but in 2005, this was the drill. You had the lap cars mixed in. This was just the way it was done for years and years and years. I'm not a fan of it personally. I'm glad NASCAR moved away from it, but if you're trying to emulate this kind of racing, this is going to be part of it. I think everybody's just going to mind their P's and Q's and respect each other. It's tough. It's very, very difficult. As we have another spider out in the YouTube chat. You know, Zach, I'm afraid of spiders. I don't like them. Typically,
yeah, same here.
Yeah, typically I'm not a fan, but Juicy Spider, it sounds like there are not 8 legs and 8 eyes involved, thankfully. So that is a bonus. As we get ready to go back green flag racing again. I said we'd talk to drivers and I forgot. Oh man. Well, to be fair, we never got told who we should interview.
I will say, Chansterheim was in the infield care center, ready and waiting to talk to us earlier on in the race.
I'll make a better point, I promise. I haven't been great about it this evening. We'll get better. 50 inside of 50 to go, 48 to go. Bad restart from the 24.
Going around.
Oh my gosh.
No! And they're all wrecking. Kevin Baumler's involved. Jared Skinner.
Oh my.
This is insane.
Vincent Arthur's internet was finally hanging on. It looked good for the 24. What happened here? Guns it up. Got checked up for some reason. And then just matted the gas down.
That's a big one right there. And it looks like he alt F4'd out of the race after that.
Yeah, frustrating for sure. Let's see here. It's hard to say what was going on, but you see the effect. I mean,
Shell gets a piece
so
of
many
that.
cars. Baumler, Skinner, George, Bettini, Sparks. And that might not even be all of them. I want to listen here to the 24. Okay.
Oh, no.
I think he checked up right as Kleba gunned it. And I think as a result of that, Zach, kind of watch us if we can get a decent view. Come on, Colossus, move. See the 12 in the bumper. Yeah, the 24 had checked up by the time he got back to the gas. Rochelle was in his bumper. Again, single file restarts as part of it. It sucks, but it's gonna happen.
Well, this does benefit quite a few drivers, I'll say. There it is.
Shell Bomber. Norman
got
Moats got through.
Brian Jones got through. That's the big thing that I was looking at right there, because now, since they all got involved, he's going to be the one that gets the free pass here. He's on the pit lane at the moment, but he's up to P19. He is slowly working his way forward.
Look at it here. We go right underneath our front stretch drone there. I mean, you see the carnage. Pressy even had a bumper in his window net there for a moment. All right, we said we talked to some drivers. Let's do it. Honestly, I don't even know who to go for first. I'll tell you what, it's going to be the 8 car, Brady Moats. I don't think we've talked to him yet this season. He's had a ton of bad luck. And here he is getting through a crash now third. Brady, I'm going to knock on wood for you. It's been a rough season. Trying to get the 8 car into the points in some way, shape, or form. Third place. Can you keep this up?
Oh, man, it's Bristol, baby. You know, we out here wrecking all the time. Got a bunch of guys with high heads. But all in all, man, that was my first 4X of the race. So I'm actually having a pretty good race. Knock on wood. I'm also knocking on wood, Andrew. But we are hoping for the best here. Hoping I can come away with the podium and be talking to y'all here in a minute. But gonna need a lot of luck, honestly.
From a driver's POV, has it been rough out there as far as the driver tempers? I mean, we have Martinsville next week.
Oh, God, yeah, it's been rough. We're going to have to get it together. We've had a few butt chewings from the admins to the drivers in here. Man, we're going to get it together and hopefully put on a better show for Martinsville. This is inexcusable. This is ridiculous. I understand it's Bristol and it happens in most league races, but this is not a NORA product. This is inexcusable. So we'll get it fixed up for Martinsville and we'll be ready to go.
We'll get you back down there. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Third place for the 8 car on this restart. Green flag back out. Oh, not a great restart for Brady, but he gets it going. The 88 gets out of the way. We get racing. And caution back out.
We're back in the caution.
It's Conover. The left rear damage to the number 48 machine. He ends up, this will be contact from Kenneth Cheney down low. Cheney on the lead lap. Just punched him there in the left rear. Conover brings it up to the outside wall. Thankfully, doesn't get hit. Here they are for the restart. Cheney dives on Josh there into one, backs out, and then goes at it again. And I think there's a theme that needs to be practiced, and that would be patience. 36 cars started this race, Zach, and we are down to about 20 really in contention. One of those being a lap down in Joey's stats, and he's got a lot of damage. There's only 4 others that are in this race, so 24 running with 40 to go. It is Bristol, but you certainly want to have...
Bristol, baby!
You certainly want to have more cars running than that, but I said I'd talk to a couple of drivers.
Something I had to say it once, though.
That's fair. Well, I think Brady did in this interview.
Well...
Nick Geilis saying he's on page 4 of notes from this one, and I think that's appropriate. Well, let's see if we can dial up one more driver out there. Let's go...
How about our race leader?
I never go for race leaders. That's asking for bad news bears. I'm
Trouble.
looking... Let's see, we have another
Ladies
lap
and
or
gentlemen,
two.
this is the Chaos Bringer realizing that there is a commentator's curse, and
yes.
he is kind of the causer of it, the Chaos Bringer.
I found a driver. We're going to grab him here. It's Nick Pressy in the number 0. And Nick, we saw a couple of decent runs at you to start the season. A week or two missed there, but you're back here in really solid form. A pretty good run so far. A little bit of left front damage. Can you keep it up there?
Well, the wheels cocked about 30 degrees to the right here. Still feels all right as far as I'm concerned, and I've got the freshest tires and top 5 or 6, and so as long as I can keep the thing from getting any worse than it is as far as damage, I'd say I got a pretty good shot.
How is the car to drive? I was kind of wondering that. Obviously, it's been a challenge for some guys in turns 1 and 3, but how's it been for you?
I've been fine in 3 and 4. Turn 1's been a bit finicky for me. It's a bit tight. The tire wear is. I think I've got it just a bit worse than the people around me right now. Damage definitely isn't helping, but only 35 laps to go. I don't have to take care of these things too much. I just gotta keep my incidents down so I don't get a drive-through, or even worse, have to retire.
Is there any way you can get the damage fixed at this point, or is it just, it's your bed, you gotta lie in it?
I think given who's around me and what's around me as far as damage is, I think it's just going to be having to deal with it.
Fair enough. Nick Pressey in the number 0, looking good. Best of luck.
Always a pleasure.
And here we go. One more time for Dustin Klebe at the front of the field. Inside now of 40 to go, make it 36 this time for the green. We are racing once again at Bristol Motor Speedway. The lappers didn't really get going down low. That's okay. The leaders get to fight this one out. Ronnie Norman now P2, trying to chase down that 9 car.
Up off of 2. Still some big separation between the 9, the 7, and the 8. It would be really, really funny if the 6 car was running up towards the front, because then we could do the funny joke. You know why 6 was afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9.
Instead, LJ Hernandez not able to make it this evening. He has stepped into that number 6 as of late, but on a part-time basis. Just over 30 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It has certainly been a slugfest. Look here at the CC's Business race stats, 12 cautions. I think that number is slightly low because we missed a couple in our connection drops. I think it's truly at about 14 cautions. But this is at least what we've been in the sim for on the broadcast side. Regardless, 32 laps remaining, make that 31. And we are flying towards the end of this one. Matthew George in trouble in the 25. He is slow, actually into the pit lane here. Unsure as to why he's had to pit, but he is in the pits. The closest battle in the top 15 is Brian Jones and Chase Durheim. Side by side here for 10th. Jones has the spot.
Could you imagine if that 45 mounts a charge back towards the front? That would be something to see.
Considering all the damage he had earlier, I mean, I said, for a while he's not going to be competitive, but there's a chance, and he's showing that chance was more than realistic. He is back in the top 10 now, trying to chase down Kyle Tubb in the 32, and he's got a slew of just mess ahead of him. The 81 has got a bunch of damage on the top side. The 4 goes by, that's Hunter Sr. He's been in a crash or two. The 32 down low is Tubb. He's been in a crash or two. Look at the 81, though. It is junk.
That thing is yawed out. Look at that left front. It was already turning before he ever got to the corner. So 2 lap cars he has passed up now to put himself on the back bumper of Hunter Sr. But that's actually, no. Baumler is for position. I thought he was a lap car there for a moment, and he's going backwards in a hurry. Conover's moving himself into the 11th spot here, trying to chase down Durheim for 10th. Cheney's back into the mix here.
I think kind of like Nick Pressey was starting to say there, at some point, you're just not going to keep getting the damage fixed. You've got to go for track position regardless of the damage. I think that's what Baumler's doing there. So he's trying to hang in as there's a battle here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. But Zach, we're inside of 25 to go. We are squarely in NARL Driver of the Day territory. Who you got?
Brian Jones. I was already looking at him from the get-go, but I think this comeback needs to be studied. He started 4th. He's currently in the 8th spot. He's getting ready to pounce on that 7th position. We get a quick yellow, and he's going to put himself right in the mix once again to easily get a top 5 if he doesn't already get it now. So it's been one heck of a recovery drive out of that 45 car. And then I think the next pick that I'm going to have to go for has got to be Blackwell. He qualified inside the top 10 after having an abysmal Atlanta race last week. He's shown that he's got some short track prowess as he is right now trying to fight inside the top 5. Looks like he's going to try to get it here. That 99 car noses out in front of the 0 car. It's going to be a dogfight for 5th here, but I think that 99 has well shown that he is worthy of a nomination for NARL Driver of the Day.
I have a couple of thoughts. I really wish I could nominate 3 different drivers, maybe even 4. As Pressy gets in the wall, he's one that I would have nominated, but he's got damage. He's starting to slide back, so I'm gonna save that and go up here to the driver who's got now 131 laps led, about half of this race to this point. If he leads to the end, it will be right about half of the race exactly. Dustin Kleba has to be on this list. Stellar performance out of car number 9. I don't think he can be left off. And then I'm torn between Ronnie Norman and Brady Motes. I think I'm going to go the way of Brady Motes, as somebody had a problem there. I think it was the 42 of Smith. But Brady Motes, I think, is going to be my other nomination here. Not because it's the number 8 car, but rather because, frankly, he's had a terrible start to the season, not having a good time in points so far. Here he is, 3rd place. If we get a caution, Zach, just like you were saying about Brian Jones, if we get a caution, he's got a chance.
That he does. 16 to go, 15 laps to go. Next time by.
That vote is now live over on YouTube. Norman getting by the injured 28. It's Joey's stats down low in the Gatorade number 28 car. Rochelle is also a great mention, actually, for driver of the day. He is certainly in the neighborhood for it. We can only nominate 4. It's hard to, encapsulate everybody who deserves it. But I think really all of the top 10 you can make a good statement for.
I think so. I really do. See Conover back in the top 10. Brian Jones has moved up into the 6th spot. He's trying to hunt down Blackwell for P5. But it's all been Dustin Kleba up at the front of the field. Here's Cheney inside the 32 car of Tubb.
This is for 8th.
And they're fighting right now for the 8th.
They are approaching Pressy, who's fallen behind Brian Jones. I think the top 5 is pretty safe right now in their positions unless we get a caution. Then it's a dogfight from about 7th on back. Pressy, Tubb, Cheney, Conover, all together. And it goes beyond that even. Cody Reeder's there, 3 wide. Pressy gets hit. Just hangs on to it off the 32 of Tubb. We're not done. Pressy down low.
Oh my goodness. And Reeder into the top 10 now.
Yeah, Reeder was sitting right behind there waiting for this kind of opportunity. Now you see the 16 of Durheim go by, the 4 of Senior as well.
Is the right front down on Pressy?
I think he's just letting these guys go. He just recognizes the damage he has. No, he's got some of the freshest tires, only 42 laps on him. He is going to pit, though, which is interesting, but we are inside of 10 to go. Norman and Mote side by side. Here we go, Zach. 2nd place.
This is the fight. Trying to hang on for that 2nd spot. Norman up on the top side, doing everything he can. Kenneth Cheney, I'll say, has a black flag. Not sure what it's for, but we'll have to find out as the fight for 2nd continues on.
Great battle here. That
Still
is 6 laps to go, though. And Blackwell's just behind. Blackwell could easily pass them both. He's got better tires. The top 2, 104. 3rd, 94. That's how many laps they have on their tires. Just 53 here for Blackwell. 5 laps to go. This time by. He's got to run. Blackwell straight on through to 3rd.
That is a pass made on the 8 car. Trying to fight back his Motes. He can't quite get there at the moment. But Blackwell trying to solidify his spot in the top 3. He's got his sights set on Ronnie Norman. Rochelle and Jones Oh no! Oh, he's getting sideways!
Great catch. Great catch there. Blackwell keeps on going. Just a couple laps to go now. By the way,
Popsicle sticks in the air next time by.
we have gotten a lot of context. I'll mention in a moment on Brian Jones. 2 laps to go, though, for Dustin Kleba. Final 2 times around, less than a mile to go, separating the number 9 from a win. We've been talking so much about how good he's been doing, building on bigger and better runs. He's led now nearly 150 laps this evening at Bristol Motor Speedway. White flag is out, brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. And through turns 3 and 4, Dustin Kleba is going to add himself to the list of winners in 2026 for the NORA Retro Cup Series. Call that a dub for driver number 9, Norman 2nd, Blackwell 3rd, as the whole field comes around. Dustin Kleba finally able to add himself as a race to winner. We've had great runs out of this 9 car, but it just hasn't come together yet. Something has always gotten in the way. Last week it was Brian Jones finally breaking through. Tonight, Dustin Kleba able to do it here at Bristol Motor Speedway. A big win, I think, for this number 9. And teammates, actually. Technically, Jones and Kleba are teammates. The 45 was brought over from Petty to Evernham. We learned that last week. Interesting. We had one team sweep races 1, 2, and 3. Now we've had the same team get races 4 and 5 this season. And on that note, for Brian Jones, Alanis King, who does some fantastic work in and around racing, and I think is a pioneer for women in motorsports, checks in saying that they've been traveling. She is the wife of Brian Jones, and they have been traveling. He's not been on his home rig. So Brian Jones breaks through, finally getting home, back to his normal rig, and now Dustin Kleba able to match that. Teammates the last couple of weeks. That's big.
I think his comeback this entire race needs to be studied. He did an amazing job to get the damage fixed, to stay on the lead lap. And if he wasn't on the lead lap, to stay in position to get it, the free pass that is, it still brings home a top 5. Absolutely amazing. This whole team has done an outstanding job to keep themselves in contention.
It's going to be a lot of fun seeing how these guys do the next several races. And frankly, is this maybe Dustin's bread and butter, the short tracks? Do we expect this out of him next week? And he's going to do it, Zach. I was wondering if we would see anybody do it. He is going to bring the car around to victory lane. Yes, sir. An extra little bit of smoke. He was going to park it.
That would be a no bueno in the garage.
Well, I think it also be a no bueno, if you will, or a no-no to burn out through a few fans, but that's okay. There's tables already set up for Kleba. He does the burnout up the ramp.
Keep the momentum up, buddy. Come on.
Oh, boy.
That's a little,
Can you actually get onto the
right there.
platform for victory lane? Because it's... Yeah, I guess so. So there you go. Dustin Kleba able to park it in Bristol Motor Speedway victory lane in one of the more exciting fashions, certainly. We'll take a look back at your unofficial race results this evening from Bristol Motor Speedway. Race 5 on the season. By the way, we haven't had race names the last 4 races. You can sponsor and partner up with the NORA Retro Cup Series here on Monday evenings. They are certainly always looking for partners to collaborate with, and we are as well here at Pit Stop TV. But let's take a look at the unofficial race results. Of course, Dustin Kleba able to grab the win, and I mentioned earlier how many laps he would have led. It actually, the number changed. I said 130 or so, right? That's because that was counting after I got back at the session, Zach, after we had our brief connection dip. It's actually 249 out of 300. Easily the driver of the day, in my opinion. That is a huge number. Dustin Kleba able to get this one here. Ronnie Norman second place, Noah Blackwell third. Certainly some great noise made by them, and Brian Jones in fourth. So Evernham teammates at the top. Kyle Rochelle in the number 12 grabs fifth. Brady Motes, the downfall there at the end, the tires just couldn't quite hang on, but it's still a good run for Brady, as he will finish ahead of Josh Conover, Kyle Tubb, Cody Reeder, and Chase Durheim. And Reeder being in the top 10, that's 3 of those Evernham cars down the top 10.
Yeah, and it wasn't actually tires on that number 8 car. There was contact between the 8 and the 14 of Cheney. On the last couple of laps that actually took that 8 car a little bit further down the running order. So that's why you see Brady Motes in the 6th position rather than up there in the 4th position. So have to take a look back at that. But Hunter Sr. ends up in the 11th spot in that Ford car with Kevin Baumler hanging on for the 12th position. Jared Skinner in that 13th spot. He ended up getting some points. Not the points he wanted, but definitely the points he'll take when half the field is finishing 1 lap down. Brad Fulham, finishes in the 14th position with Dominic Bettini, the last car on the lead lap, with Cody Smith 1 lap down in that 16th position. Kenneth Cheney in that 14th position, 2 laps down. Matthew George, Joey Stats, and Nicholas Presley round out your top 20 positions at 17th through 20th, all of them being 2 laps down.
And to complete your top 30, we see 21st through 30th here, Wayne Sparks. I just hit a hotkey I didn't know I could hit.
One click too many.
No, I actually hit the space bar, and apparently... I just learned something. Anyways, Wayne Sparks, 21st, 14 laps down. Nick Ham, 22nd. Ryan Housden there in 23rd. On down through the rest of these guys who ended out of the race early. You know, John Scavnicki, Vincent Arthur, heartbreak for each of those guys. Cody Anderson out early. Donald Kite. Great speed to start the season. The last couple of weeks have been a detour from that. Joseph Andujar in 28th. John Border, Craig Martin complete your top 30. And Zach... I'm going to use my newfound skill. I've been working in ATVO for 8 years. Spacebar. I didn't work that time. Well, whatever.
Well, it works for you now. Dalton Tucker ends up in the 31st position with Jeremy Rubin 32nd, Chance Durheim 33rd. Kane Hoy ends up 34th with Bruce Ackerman finishing 35th. And then Jake Christenberry made it all of about 60 laps before that number 11 car ended up taking a tumble and turn for the worse. He finishes last on the night for that number 11, but spots got to be taken up by somebody. It tends to happen, but
yeah, someone has to finish last.
All in all, I think it was a decent race. I think these guys put on a good show for us. It was definitely a lot of cautions, but you know, that just tends to happen sometimes. And I believe our race winner is standing by.
We've got 6 drivers all in the cool down room, but let's bring in, if I can find
there
him.
There are some tempers.
Yeah, Dustin actually has not reported to the cool down room yet, so I'll move him up. Regardless, it's going to be fun to talk to these guys. Let's bring in race winner Dustin Kleba now. 249 laps led. We had a small connection issue that reset the counter, so I already knew it was going to be high, Dustin. But then, when it finalized and we actually got the real total of 249, my goodness, how? How did you keep that car out front so much this evening with so much going on around you?
Oh, man, it was a lot of strategy, a lot of hard thinking, and mostly just not pitting and running about 260 laps under caution. So that was about it. No, it was, man, I don't know. At the end there, I was just trying to decide if I wanted to pit. I think I pit with like 112 to go. And at the time, I'm like, ooh, that's a lot of time on your tires, even if we do have a bunch of cautions. And we started off the run after that. I think we had like a maybe 10 lap run, 15 lap run. And then that's kind of when the field split a little bit. I want to say like the top 10, 15 maybe stayed out, and then everybody else pit after that. And that's when it kind of got tricky, because if we did another 10, 15 lap run, then it's going to get to the point where my stuff's going to start getting old. The other guys are going to start catching up. But no, it was every 2-3 laps we were getting a yellow. And I just, man, I feel awful for you guys. The broadcast could not have been, I mean, you guys do incredible work. You're extremely professional, but I mean, you can only polish a turd so much. It's everybody watching this. This hasn't been how this league has been the first handful of weeks, and man, I really hope we can clean it up. As much as I could say this is a win off talent, and I'm the greatest driver to ever exist virtually, this really didn't take a lot. It was just get out in front. You have a huge advantage every time you take the green as the leader. So really, if you could just stay the leader the entire time, there's so many cautions that I knew nobody was gonna get to me. Luckily there, we had a little bit of a green flag run at the end to at least fight it out a little bit. And from there, I was just managing the gap. I saw Ronnie and Brady were fighting behind me, and once I got to 2 seconds, I was just backing it way down just in case we had a late yellow. I could try and hold off if somebody had fresh tires, but man, yeah, I don't know how you guys felt, but my back hurts, my butt hurts, and kind of tired, and I didn't even really do much.
I think the rear end hurting might be a theme through a good portion of the field this evening. That's typically how short tracks go. But honestly, Dustin, the counter did reset now that we're back in the session and everything, and the session is finalized. 23 cautions. Yes, it's elevated. It's not what we want. From our perspective, it really truly wasn't that bad, but I certainly understand from the driver perspective why it feels so much worse. That said, two-parter question for you. Why do you think this season is different? A. B. Should we expect the same at Martinsville, or do we think these guys will get the wrath of Josh Conover spoken into them?
Yeah, Josh is a new dad now, so he's got that new dad strength and the new dad intimidation factor. So, yeah, I don't know. I really hope it cleans up. I had some promise, honestly. I mean, the first handful of weeks, like I said, there's some hard racing new guys in here, but overall, at least everybody I raced around, it seemed relatively fine. I mean, I even got spun out in Vegas, but I know it wasn't that his fault. It wasn't really my fault. It was just a bad situation. So, I mean, there's been hard racing, but I haven't really noticed anything bad or egregious. But I think I got pulled into the cooldown room for about half a second, and I think there's some guys in there who are not cooling down and would very drastically disagree with me. Like, dude, if you need some entertainment, just go down there for like 5 seconds. Do not recommend for young children. But no, I really don't know. I think last year it was a little bit different. We still had the old generation Gen 4. Those cars really seemed pretty floaty, so it was kind of hard to race side by side just because there's a lot of unstableness where these really just kind of feel like a brick, and it's tight everywhere, and it's pretty easy to overdrive the corner, especially if you've been racing somebody hard all race and you only get 2.5 laps to get past them. I could see how frustrations could build, and it just yeah, it's tough. As far as next week, I really don't know. I'll be on vacation, so you all enjoy that. I'll be watching the stream as a fan, but yeah, for the sake of everybody in the league, I hope some cooler heads prevail and everybody realizes that it's just supposed to be fun. Let's have some clean racing. It's a long season. We don't need to dive bomb every corner, but I've been there, man. It's easy for me to sit up here and have a good finish and say that, and I've been there so many times built with frustration. So yeah, I just want everybody to get along, just everybody be friends, have fun.
Well, it was good to see the 9 car, I think, finally get one of the finishes that you deserve this evening. A bunch of great runs to start the season off, and finally it all goes right for you. Best of luck the rest of the season. Hopefully we're talking to you again soon, and hey, congratulations. You certainly have a lot to hang your hat on this evening.
Yeah, thanks guys. Really appreciate it. Like I said, you guys are really kicking butt with the broadcast. You've really increased the quality. I mean, I'm just watching the replay of. I've never looked so cool doing a donut in a cartoon car. Like that shot is so good. Oh man, I wish I was that cool in real life. But no, thanks to you guys again for bringing a great broadcast. I know Josh is gonna have a rough week. He had a baby last week, and this week's probably gonna be worse. So man, I feel for him. All the admins got they got a lot of work to do just to keep everybody happy. But thanks to my teammate Brian Jones, dude. Like, I come out, I finally get a win, and I think Brian stole the show and the storyline. Like, there's no way he spent more than 50 laps on the lead lap, and he comes out and finishes 4th. Like, that dude he's insane. That is definition of dedication, not giving up, points racing, like whatever you want to call it. It was a great job by him. Cody finishes 9th. I think he probably passed 3 guys on track. Like, that just shows how crazy of a race it was. Just if you keep a cool head, you're eventually going to prevail and get around all of the mess. So, good job to the teammates. Thank you again to my family that watches every week. And Harpoon Designs, man, huge thank you to them. If it wasn't for them, I know you guys wouldn't be here. So thanks to them bringing you guys in. I got to shout out CTI real quick. Any audiovisual needs you got out there, look me up on LinkedIn. We can help you out. And I think that's all I got. I'm gonna go to bed. It's late. It's 10 o'clock. Usually we're done by 9:30. So
I'm with him on that one.
Yeah,
I'm happy you guys
over
do
here.
I'm happy you guys do the winner first, so I can get out of here and go to bed. So thanks again, guys.
Hey, good night. Best of luck when you do get back from vacation. We'll be looking for you.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Dustin Kleba with a solid run here at Bristol. We'll move on down to position number 2, Zach Ronnie Norman. I think he's got a lot to be happy with as well. Maybe not quite as happy as Dustin, although I don't think he was the happiest of campers. Regardless, here is driver number 7.
Yeah, Ronnie Norman with the 2nd place finish on the day. You battled back through it. You made it work, and you found your way at the end to be there and standing on the podium and up here with us in the Pit Stop TV booth. How you feeling after that one, Ronnie? Surviving Bristol.
Yeah, we definitely survived Bristol tonight. I'll say that. I mean, had a little bit of everything in there for us. So somehow we got all the fenders on the car still, and up here on the podium talking to you guys for the first time of the year. So it feels pretty good.
Absolutely, I can share that sentiment. It was definitely a cluster down there. I know you were trying to battle through it all and find your way to the front. I mean, what do you think was the best way to move forward? Do you think it was just staying out on those tires and separating yourself from the madness, or do you think those tires played a part in keeping you up there?
Definitely staying out there after I pit with like 100 to go, because unfortunately the cautions kept falling, and in between the cautions you could cool your tires off and get grip back and run pretty good there for a little bit. So evidently the tires were good for Noah there on that last pit that he did, so that was kind of scary seeing him come flying up through the field. But no, once we pit, we kind of knew unfortunately with the way that the cautions were flying, that it was probably going to be our last pit stop, and track position was just so key tonight that if you pit, you get mired back there in the back, and then you get caught up in something. And with these single file restarts, they're just they help out a lot when you're up front with these restarts. So getting around the lap cars on the inside and just trying to get a routine going, getting some laps under your belt. But I feel like we definitely had a couple Murdy's misses of the day today. So
what is it with people and mispronouncing my last name, man?
I'm sorry if I did. I don't know. It's the first time. But so just I hated that big wreck there on the front stretch on the restart. Turned to well, not technically a teammate, but a group, a Discord friend in there that I was with. So I don't know how I squeezed through there. I don't even know. I think I had a couple seconds of damage, but luckily it wasn't enough to hold me from getting a podium. So glad we hung on, and definitely needed this one after last week.
Well, you did a solid effort, and I think the points day is going to reflect in your favor, especially with Jacob Gladulich not being here, and you guys being in a good fight on that cut line. So this should be a relatively solid boost to your efforts, and I think we're all safe to say that you did a phenomenal job to get it back up there. You did a great job bringing it home, and we look forward to seeing what you bring us next week at Martinsville. Hopefully we see some more short track speed out of you.
Yeah, hopefully we see some speed and some green flag runs. I'm sure that's what everybody's looking for. So I know everybody's going to be bittersweet after that one. But hey, it's kind of, these races are going to go one way or the other. So hopefully next week we can do the other one.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your second place finish. Hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. That's your second place finisher, and a very happy second place finisher out of Ronnie Norman. And I think you've got Mr. Blackwell sitting on by for his third place finish, and what a solid third place finish it was.
Yes, sir. 2 weeks removed from a change for Noah Blackwell to go over to the 99 from the 66, flip the number upside down. Thankfully, the car has stayed on all four wheels, though, Noah. Third place tonight at Bristol. How did you manage to squeak this one out?
Obviously upside down, just like my race results, apparently, because now I'm top 3. Yeah, I don't know. I gambled again. I did this on Saturday too, where I gambled and got better tires and just drove my butt off because I knew I could use the tires and just get up to the front. Obviously sucks. I wanted to get second there, but stuff happened, I guess. But yeah, overall it was pretty fun. I was able to dodge most of the wrecks. I don't know if you guys caught that. Some of them were real close.
There were a lot of dodges. Actually no dodges on the racetrack technically, but a lot of near misses, we'll say. But yeah, I mean, it's been crazy how the result from Vegas has turned around so quickly. I know Atlanta didn't go great for you, but come out here at Bristol and the 99 is hooked up. Can we continue this into Martinsville next week, or is it just kind of a Bristol thing, not a short track thing?
I don't know. I'm not. This is only like my 5th league race in this car, so I'm not really sure how Martinsville is gonna go. But usually I'll be there at the end of the race, and that'll be as fast as I can go. So who knows? Hopefully I can be there for Martinsville. I didn't qualify too good. I screwed up my qualifying lap here earlier today. So just looking to get up there. Try and get top 3 there too. Missing a few races on points here. So hopefully I can get something.
Well, it's good to see you out there in that 99 car. We were missing that in the early goings of the season. Good to see the 99 now on track. Noah, good to talk to you for the first time, and best of luck as the season goes on. Hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Oh, can I shout out sponsors?
Absolutely.
njbdesigns.com. Good wraps. I make them. If you want a wrap. Noah B Media up here in NorCal. If you want a photography for racing, I'm out here. And broadcast, you guys, for great broadcasts, and my family. And thank you.
Absolutely glad to have you here, Noah. Congratulations on a top 3. And again, hopefully we're talking to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
A big night for a lot of drivers this evening. And I know there's some conversation now as well out in the YouTube chat about driver of the day options. I know it's tough because, Zach, we talk about it all the time. We only get the 4 options. We can only nominate 4 drivers. And I think that's what people have to remember is, we can't nominate everybody in the field, or even 6 or 8 or 10. We're limited to the 4 options that YouTube gives us. It's tough. I think there's a lot of drivers that easily could have been on it this evening. I don't know. I think, as we said earlier on in that final run, I think anybody in the top 10, you could have made a decent case for to be in the driver of the day vote, and certainly there's good drivers we had to leave off of that this evening, Zach. But with that in mind, we can go ahead and close the North American Racing League driver of the day vote. Do you want to do a drum roll, or just go ahead and reveal?
I tried. I don't know. I'm trying to do a sound effect here. It's Dustin Kleba.
Fair enough. 249 laps led, started on pole, won the race, only as low as 5th. I think that's an important note. I think, yes, I wish we could have nominated more drivers, but for a driver to survive Bristol and only go as low as 5th, now that, I will say, could be skewed by the reconnect. But typically, when you hit the end of the session, ATVO receives all the data from iRacing, so I believe this is correct. It might need checked. Regardless, it's a stellar night no matter what for Dustin Kleba. Top 5 certainly most of the night, as he was in the lead most of the night. 250 laps nearly for the 9 car. I don't think there's anybody more deserving this evening. I think sometimes it's a toss-up tonight. I think it's a very clear winner as to who should be driver of the day here at Bristol. But Zach, from here, as far as the schedule goes, this is what we have coming up. Martinsville, Texas, Phoenix, the next few.
Yeah, especially going after Phoenix. You've got Talladega, Darlington, Richmond, and Charlotte. Some very high, tense, crazy racetracks. Talladega, for starters, we're going straight to another super speedway after Phoenix. It's sticking with relative short track style. You've got Martinsville up next, obviously a short track. You've got Texas, which is a mile and a half. And then you've got Phoenix. A lot of people say Phoenix drives like a short track, and nowadays they run the short track package there. So we've got some fun stuff coming up, and not just in the schedule, but in races coming up here on Pit Stop TV as well. You've got the season finale for the BRB Sundance Pro Series. You've got 3 drivers in contention, in points contention for that championship spot. That's going to be really fun to watch, coming down to it at Homestead Miami Speedway. And then you've got NARL and All-American Racing Network coming up the next couple of days as well.
Of course, a lot of great places to watch these broadcasts, primarily Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And we do have some other social media coverage across the internet, but those are the main places to watch anything Pit Stop TV. There you see the next 3 coming up. A lot of great racing coming up, certainly at Pit Stop TV. Some things being announced recently. We'll get more into that at another point in time, but keep an eye on the Pit Stop TV social media channels for a whole bunch more coming up very, very soon. That will do it for us this evening from the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. As always, a big thank you to this season's partner in Harpoon Design. Brantley Rodden has done a fantastic job of pouring so much support here into the series and a bunch of paint schemes on the racetrack as well. I know Brady Motes is excited to run some of those hopefully next season in the BRB Sundance Pro Series, actually. So Harpoon Design doing a great job across all of iRacing, and most of the real-world paint schemes, I feel like, from the Cup Series that end up on Trading Paints were probably done by Brantley Rodden. The ones that, you know, get transferred over. He does a lot of the transferring from real life into iRacing in that way. So Brantley does a lot of great painting on iRacing, and certainly has a big foothold in the iRacing community. And a big thank you as well to Clark Contracting, this season's presenting partner of our power rankings here on Monday nights. We do, of course, want to give a big thank you to our partners here at the channel: Whiplash SimCams, MXGraps.com, ATVO, Murtis Esports, CC's Business, and the North American Racing League. Zach, that's going to do it for us this evening from the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's fastest half mile. It was a pleasure as always. Nora, thanks for having us here. I'm excited for Martinsville next week. I know the drivers might not be. It was a rough one here at Bristol. Yes, rough and tumble, but that's the way it goes. Short track racing at its finest. And again, I'm excited for what the paperclip holds for us in just a week's time. Make sure to tune back in with us next Monday evening for Martinsville Speedway. Until then, thanks for watching. Hopefully we see you tomorrow night for the BRB Sundance Pro Series right back here on Pit Stop TV. But ARCA Cars at Homestead, you don't want to miss it.